Hello again, everybody, and welcome to 4-Star Chicago Sports. We got a packed house. The Chicago Clubhouse podcast is in the house. And, man, we got a lot to talk about. There's a battle in the wide receiver room. We have Stevenson on the move. We just talked about him and praised him on Wednesday. This is crazy. We got an ESPN 7-round mock and plenty of other tidbits. So come along for the ride. It's going to be fun.
Windy City banners rocking 4 stars align. Dynasty dreams rise, Bulls in their prime. Cubs curse shattered, the victory divine. Fields be running, clock ticking on my timeline. Shot-town heroes, legends never fade. Black Hawks flying, cutting ice with the blade. White Sox diamonds, the Southside parade. 4 stars shine bright, legacies they made. Mike with the crown, air rain, no dispute. Sweetness in the backfield, Walter in pursuit. Bear down Sunday's midfield, battles cute. Chicago.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome into the house. And we're going to welcome in the Crooked Commissioner from the Chicago Clubhouse podcast. How you doing, brother? Welcome to the show.
I'm good. Thank you guys for having me on here. It's always good and exciting to talk some Bears football. So
I like your
happy to
backdrop.
be here.
Yeah, the back.
Thank you. Hey, I got to show respect to the Iceman there. You know what
That's
I mean?
correct.
So
That's correct.
we're gonna be
Real ice,
we're gonna be seeing a lot of this next year.
I love that it
all
says
goes well.
I did it instead of just you.
Yeah, no, he did do it. He did just do that because a lot of times you see from the other sidelines guys being like,
Did that just
What?
happen?
did it? Yeah. It's like, yeah, he just did that.
Yeah, go ahead and
Again.
look up. It's being replayed.
Right. So, but yeah. Oh, breaking news. Thank you for saying what's up. It's good to see you guys. Everybody in the chat. Good to see you. I know I chop it up with you guys in the chat, so this time it's a little bit different. Get to be on screen with the fellas here. Really appreciate it.
We get to chop it up live. How about that? How are the Twins doing today? The Twin Towers of Knowledge over there.
I'm happy, man. I get to watch Illinois on Saturday play in the Final Four. So I'm living the dream right now in regards to sports. I've watched this team suck for so long. I'm so happy. They had a couple of good years sprinkled in there, but they're a real threat to a title this year. So I'm doing good.
Hey, first Final Four since the Bill Self connection, isn't it? Darren Williams, D. Brown.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. And who's the last one, Sean? Who's the third guy?
They had they had the big guy. They had Darren Williams, D. Brown, and God, he's a pastor. He's a pastor now.
Yeah, and he was another. They were all 3 NBA players. What is the guy's?
Oh my God, I can't think of it. It's gonna come to me in the middle of the
Guys,
show.
if you got it in the chat, throw it in there.
Yeah, bring it on. And to Erica, I love you so much, and you're with us all the time. Lay off with Shota. He settled down after the first inning, kept the Cubs in the ball game. I think the bats were to blame yesterday more than Shota. The home run sucked, but the bats need to score more off of Jake Shitty Irving. Let's just be honest here, Kyle. Am I wrong?
Homerson Tygon.
Yeah, no, you're not, man. Obviously, it was a very poor start for Shota, but after that first inning, he pretty much became lockout. But yeah, I mean, it's Erica, for being a Cubs fan, I feel like you don't like a lot of them.
Hopefully we get a big dub in Cabrera's debut. Kicks off in about 35 minutes from now. First pitch from Wrigley, so check it out after you watch us first. Put it on mute and watch us. Big news. The Bears continue their trip around the world of centers. They brought in James Brockmeyer, son of former NFL player Blake Brockmeyer. Don't know too much about this guy. I did look him up. It seems like most people have him rated as a 7th round or undrafted free agent. The Bears have made their rounds, though. They've seen Sam Heck. They've seen Slaughter. They've seen Brian Parker Brailsford, Yeager Barton. They just keep going around the horn with centers. Boys, do you think we're getting a center in the draft this year or what?
I think it's a guarantee, Sean. If not in the draft, he's going to be an undrafted free agent for sure. I mean, they're basically visiting with the whole center class. Anybody who's got a name in the fight, they're going to be visiting with them. They are definitely adding a center at some point this season. Remember last year, during their top 30 visits, it was a bunch of offensive tackles, it was a bunch of wide receivers, a couple of tight ends. Sure enough, they drafted all 3 positions.
See a new name in the chat there, guys.
Yeah, it looks like
I'm assuming you know her, Antonio.
Yeah, that's Mrs. Kamish.
Yep.
that's Mrs. Kamish.
Welcome to the show, Mrs. Kamish.
Thanks for joining us.
She gets a nice round of applause. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks
Mrs.
for joining.
Kamish.
Thanks for letting your husband join us.
The non-crooked commish.
She's trying to get me on the straight and narrow. She's trying to get me, back on the right path. But it's
Good
just
woman.
so
A
easy.
good woman does, brother.
What do you think of all these interviews that they got going on, Crooked, with all these centers, man? You think we're gonna see a center in this draft class in 2026?
Yeah, I think the writing's kind of on the wall. I mean, to do that much investigation or kind of looking into players at that position and then not address it at all in the draft almost kind of feels like a waste of time if you don't, go after it. So even it may not be one of their first, 3 or 4 picks that they use it on, but like you said, at the very least, I think undrafted free agent center. The center position is pretty deep this year as well, so that could very easily, you could still get somebody that's undrafted, and he could be a quality type of center, someone that should have been drafted in the 5th round or something like that.
No, for sure.
Yeah, I thought for sure leading up to today that this was almost a guarantee, guys, that there was at least a late round center, more so than even a undrafted free agent. But I mean, Ben Johnson talking about Bradbury lit up like a kid that just opened a present and the thing that he asked for Christmas. So I'm thinking maybe an undrafted free agent, because I do think this. I don't think this organization, I don't think most NFL organizations are a big fan of moving people from one position to another. I love Luke Newman. I think the Bears love Luke Newman. I don't know that he's going to be your backup center when the season begins. I think they're going to bring somebody who's played that position more often than not. And I do think it's going to be probably an undrafted free agent. I don't know that they're going to draft one. I do think Ben Johnson believes that Bradbury can fill in and be, almost as good as a Dolman at a Pro Bowl season last year, but almost as good as a Dolman, because he's got that connection with Joe Tooney. So there's obviously going to be some chemistry there on the interior line. And I do think that, if Ben Johnson tells you that a guy's going to fit like a glove, you should be a little more excited about him than you were when he was initially signed, probably.
Yeah, and just to get a couple, I see Maurice Lester looks like a new guy in the chat. We usually have info on these people.
That's Foster.
Yeah, that's Foster.
Oh, that's Foster.
Foster's got like 8 names, bro.
He's got like 8 names,
and they're all awesome.
And to answer your question, they didn't draft any top 30 visits last year, Foster. He's playing games on me over here. And as long as he's in the house, everybody, don't forget on Thursdays to run over there, check out BCP, awesome Bears podcast. They have a lot of fun out there. So go check them out. But he just gave us 3 views. You got to love that, right?
I remember
3 thumbs up,
Remember,
That's
before 2025, Ryan Poles actually was really well known for drafting his top 30 visits. So maybe it was just an off year. Maybe the draft didn't fall the way they wanted it to. Or maybe, they say that the top 30 visits are to get to learn more about guys that they have concerns about. Maybe none of those guys, maybe they got all the guys they wanted. So they don't have to worry about any of the guys they had concerns about.
Maybe
I mean, you're not going to visit with, you're not going to do a top 30 visit with Sonny Styles or Jeremiah Love or Colston Loveland or Tyler Warren. There's not going to be many concerns, right? They're visiting with guys who might be there in the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round if they decide to trade back into 5th or 6th, and guys who they have concerns about, and they want to make sure that they're good character guys and they fit this locker room and fit this scheme. That's what they're doing, man. And
well, Kyle, maybe
one will fall in the lap, maybe
the,
not. You don't know. But they did have a top 30 visit with Darnell Wright, and he was their 1st round pick 3 years ago. So you never know.
Maybe during those top 30 visits last year, they found some character flaws.
Sure.
Yeah. And profits with Jason Podolka on this one. Krutz in the 7th. He says George O's Olin.
Well, after offering him
$15 an hour,
yeah, $15 an hour, yeah, that's a big kick in the nuts, man.
Hey, you know what? I'd be totally fine. What's going on, True Pilgrim? We just jumped in the building, man. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us on this beautiful day in Chicago. Unfortunately, by Wednesday, looks like we're gonna be back in the 40s. It's gonna be wet and shitty. We don't. He doesn't have that problem. The crooked commish where he stays. It's. I take it it's sunny most days out by you. Yeah, and you know, for me, obviously, when it goes to the center position, if I'm around 89 and Sam Heck's still there, that's the direction I'd like to go personally. And I'd be fine with Connor Lew, Jake Slaughter. I don't know, Logan Jones. Those are my top four. I don't know if you guys have a preference of these centers in this draft. I think Sam Heck personally fits the system ready, comes from the zone rush scheme right now in Kansas State. He does everything pretty close to what Ben Johnson does in his offense in college. So he, to me, fits the best. When you look at the kid, Jake Slaughter, he's good with pass. He struggles with the run. When you look at Connor Lew, he's good against the run. He's bad against the pass. Heck seems to be the most complete guy in the 2026 draft that checks all the boxes for the Bears. I don't know if you guys have any preferences at the center position.
Well, Heck to me, Sean, is the only guy who defies the never start a rookie center. I think Heck is a guy you might potentially start in the NFL the year that you draft him. And I don't know that that's, like I said, the way that they talked about Bradbury. And I'm with you. Heck would be the guy that I would target if I was going to. But with the signing of Bradbury, I think you're pushing a starting future center off one more year here. So if they don't go Heck, I'm completely content with the Bears waiting until late round or even post draft.
Are you thinking like Logan Jones won't be there, or you just prefer Heck over Jones?
Well, I don't know that you're going to use a high pick on a guy that you're going to allow sit for a year. I don't know if the Bears have the luxury this year of spending any draft capital on a guy that they intend on sitting on the bench for their rookie season. I think the Bears got to land a decent amount of starting players in this draft, guys. So you got to use these, and you're not going to get those in late round picks. You might, but the odds are pretty high against it. I think Kyle said a couple weeks ago, you got like a 37% hit rate on a good draft. So I think you're going to use the top 4 picks on guys that you intend on starting on this team in 2026.
Yeah, and for me, his play style, like I said, his athletic profile has drawn comparisons to center Bears former, now retired center Drew Dahlman, a mobile, technically polished center capable of executing the zone-heavy run scheme. Stylistically, been compared to Jason Kelce. So with his quickness and leg-driven play, he relies more on his movement skills and technique more than raw power. Heck just seems like, Brandon said, a guy. If Bradbury were to get hurt, say game 1, you plug and play, and you're maybe not skipping a beat. That's kind of the way I'm looking at Heck. When I look at some of the other guys and you look at their strengths and weaknesses, they seem to be stronger here against the pass, weaker against the run, and or vice versa. It seems that Heck is drawing high praise on all things across the board. Kind of why, if you're going to draft, say 60 or 89, it's got to be Sam Heck for me personally. And Logan Jones is probably my second. For me personally.
Yeah, I think they probably have Heck ranked the highest in their personal rankings. I think that would be like their golden child if they wanted the best center available. But if they decide they want to spend a draft pick that high, I don't think they'd be upset if Logan Jones or Slaughter fell to the Bears either. But yeah, I mean, all 3 of them I think will probably be good NFL players. I think they all are a little bit developmental. Like you said, Brennan, I think Heck is probably the closest to NFL ready, but yeah, I definitely expect them to add one of them at some point, and maybe the Bears are gonna have to try to find a way to trade back into that 4th or 5th, or the 4th round or 5th round or 6th round, or maybe they trade a guy like Tyrique Stevenson who brings back a 3rd round pick and they spend that on a center. I don't know, man. I think there's still a lot of question marks around this team before the draft. Like, I think we keep on hearing all these sports writers and all these people say that the Bears have something hidden up their sleeve. There's something coming. Somebody's getting cut. Somebody's getting traded. I don't know what it is. I believe it because they are certainly in salary cap hell right now. They have to find a way to clear salary cap. I think they still plan on making some trades or cutting somebody, restructuring. I don't know, man. But I know for this for a fact, guys, by the end of April or maybe even post June 1st, the Bears are going to have another center on this roster for sure. No doubt about it.
Is this a crooked commish, Jabari Davis, or is this a new 4 stars guy?
I think that just may be a new Bears fan that just found his way into Bears fan.
Thanks for joining us, Jabari. He says trade Stevenson and draft tackle Davis, Washington Huskies big corner with the speed on the outside, long arms, replace Nation Wright. That's a name I haven't heard yet, guys. We've heard a lot of names thrown.
Tacario Davis was actually brought up on Wednesdays a couple times.
Yeah, we've talked about him.
I think it was Howie I think it was Howie who brought him up. It was Howie,
Howard, yeah, Howie's all over the prospect.
Sicario.
it could have been Prophet
Yeah,
too.
Sicario.
I can't remember, but it was a few guys. I actually looked him up, and you know what? He's kind of like, if the Bears don't take him at 25, I don't think he's going to be there at 57. He's pretty high up there, you know, early second round type corner. So it might be hard.
Crooked. Let me ask you this: where do you know? Obviously, the Bears have a plethora of needs as far as we're all concerned. Moving into the 2026 season, where do you place center on the Bears list of needs?
I think either third or fourth, really. I think the edge and safety spot is definitely 1 and 2, and then you could probably even throw in and make an argument for linebacker. Even I think.
Absolutely.
3. So it's one of those things. If you didn't make that move to get the new center Garrett from
New England,
New England, yeah, you'd almost be a little bit more pigeonholed and kind of forced to use one of the top 3 picks on the center there and stuff, just because you can't draft a guy at that point as we hope this guy can be, you know, what you know, a plug and play right away. You would need to just draft the guys like, yeah, we have no doubt that this guy bearing injury.
I think the trading for Bradbury, I think that's why I believe, guys, that you're probably not going to see the center drafted in a high slot in this draft. I think they are going to take starters with the first 4 picks they have in this draft, and I think you're going to wait on the center. And I believe just for that very reason, Crooked Commish, that they brought Bradbury in here to kind of bridge that position for a year.
Sean, can we get a clap for Don Burr here, man? He said he's never gotten one on 4-star Chicago.
He has to say, "Go Bears first."
Oh, come on, man. We appreciate you being here. We invite all fans, man. We want to hear from everybody.
Thanks for you, Don.
Howie, we were just talking about you, brother.
Howie, were you the guy who brought up Sicario Davis? To look up. I know someone was all over Brandon Cisse.
Well, that's leading the witness. Now he's going to take all the credit for it.
I can't remember who it was. It was one of the guys.
Broski was the one who was all over Cisse.
Oh, it was Broski for Cisse. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm with you. Well, Howie's on Connor Lou at 89, and that's fine.
I saw that.
That's the second Lou or nobody that I've seen in our chat tonight.
Yeah, I think
it's a decent size too.
I think if they get Sam Heck, they'll forget about Connor.
Oh no, Howie was Cisse. Howie said he was Cisse.
Howie was Cisse.
So it was
someone was Sicario Davis because I have his name written down in my chat.
You can still see Don Burr who said that. Broski, who was that? Prophet,
yeah.
You guys know anything else on the center situation?
What's up, Suggett?
No, I just wanted to get. I know Brandon has one to add, but Ben Johnson did speak today, and there was a couple things that he said that really stuck out to me. He talked about Luther Burden and said it's exactly what we thought we were getting out of the draft yesterday. This guy loves football. If you took football away from him, I don't know what he would do with himself. Adds that Burden and Colston Loveland have been in the weight room together all off season. Ben Johnson says that these two guys are exactly what he thought they were when they drafted them, and they're exceeding expectations. He talked about success in the past. He said, nobody gives a shit. We're on to 2026. It was probably my favorite quote of him.
Yeah,
He said we're being hyper vigilant to complacency and entitlement after the success of 2025. Ben said he doesn't want to hear about how good we were last year. We've moved on to 2026. All that tells me is this dude is changing greatness, and I absolutely love it. And Brandon, I know you had one. What was your favorite quote of the day, brother?
Well, no, I agree with you there, man, because you just signed a couple of new players and Bush and Bryant, and you want to start looking forward for these guys that are now going to be in the locker room. You're gonna draft some 2026 potential rookies here. So it's time to move forward. I agree with Ben 100%. But yeah, he said. Well, on top, he did say that Bradbury fits like a glove, which stood out to me because, it felt like after the interview, it felt like Bradbury was more of a Ben Johnson guy than a Ryan Poles guy or a Joe Tooney guy, which a lot of people related to. But he called Kobe Bryant a trained killer, and that was the thing that stuck out to me today because it sounds to me. Yeah, it sounds to me like he didn't necessarily have that view over Byron and Brisker. It sounds like Ben wasn't guys, we talked about this on last week's show, and I think a lot of people in the chat were like, this is kind of a dull subject, but I asked you guys how involved is Ben Johnson on the defensive side of football. It sounds like Ben Johnson did a lot of homework on Kobe Bryant. That's the vibe that I got listening to what he had to say about him. He said we watched a lot of tape, so Ben was there for that, and he said the guy's just gotta. What did he say, Sean? He said he's no matter where he plays in the box, in the zone, if he's deep, he said he's always looking to lay somebody out. He's a trained killer, and I do believe that Kobe Bryant is a player that's going to fit Dennis Allen's scheme well. But I think that Ben Johnson's starting to identify those pieces too.
Thoughts? Anybody else on Ben Johnson? Because Jason did put up one. I was going to bring that up. Thanks, Jay, for throwing that in the comment there. He said that Braxton Jones looks yoked and looks like a completely different player. So as we watch these OTAs and we get into the training camp, obviously, we've all been talking about this left tackle situation ad nauseum. We're going to be paying dead eyes on that left tackle situation as the season gets closer and we go through these practices. Let's see what Braxton Jones got, man, what he has. Hopefully this injury, he comes back stronger and he's better, because it's one of the biggest holes on this roster and something that sticks out to us big time, guys.
Yeah, Ben, the words Ben used is, I believe Braxton's trying to alter the trajectory of his future. And when Ben Johnson talks, guys, it's so different. Don't you? You just believe it. I mean, you just believe what the guy, like when you heard coaches say, this guy came in the best shape of his life after the offseason. You know what I mean? You hear this all the time. But when Ben Johnson tells me that, I'm thinking like Braxton must be looking pretty good.
Thanks, Aunt Mass. Yeah, Crooked, anything that you took away, anything particular you took away from Ben Johnson's comments, man?
Well, when he talks about Braxton Jones, I'm hoping he's talking about his legs there.
That's what I said. I texted these guys that same shit today, bro.
You got an ass?
I texted these guys. I said, I hope it's his lower body where he gained those 10 pounds, man. He's got to
Thank you. I had no problem. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, he's got to get a sturdier base. I agree with you 100%, dude. He's just too skinny. And he's got like little chicken legs for a 300-pound man.
Yeah, I know he's not, but totally gives the vibe of someone that does steroids, because they always talk about how he has such a big upper mass, but then the guys have no legs or whatever. So like I said, I know he's not, but I mean, it's just kind of like that vision I get of him. So never had any issue with his upper strength. He was always good, but he always just got bulldozed. So it's good to see that he's looking in good shape, because this is might be his last chance to really, kind of cements himself as a star. Because if it doesn't work out here, he may get another 1-year deal somewhere else to try and prove it. But no player is looking for 1-year deals. They're looking for long-term contracts. So.
Yeah, real quick, Jahdae says he can't chat. He's just listening today. He's putting IKEA furniture together. Well, enjoy the next 6 hours of your life, Jahdae. Good luck to you.
And don't over tighten that stuff. Chips quickly.
Aunt Mass he's working, so you might not see him in the chat too often either, man. What's up, Aunt Mass? We appreciate you being here. Yeah, real quick, something I wanted to say about that little presser he had at the owners meetings. It sounds to me like Sean and I, we talked about it the last couple of weeks, how even though we like the fact that this team had a bunch of takeaways last year and they were opportunistic, we wanted them to be more fundamentally sound. It sounds like that's the way they're shifting, right? I think they're trying to change their identity from opportunistic and taking chances to being more aggressive and more punishing, more violent. I think this team's going to be focused less on turnovers and focus more on and eliminating space and making it harder for the opposing offense to find yards. Sean, do you agree with that? After listening to those interviews, man?
100%. And it's something that makes me excited as a fan, because Bend Don't Break was fun, but
sure,
as some believe that that's sustainable. I just don't. I don't believe that's the way to win a Super Bowl. So lock it down, get better, more skill position players, faster, tighter. I like it. When you're 29th in passing defense and 24th in rushing defense, the days where you don't have takeaways, you're not going to win many games. And we saw that with the Bears over and over again. So I like the fact that they're trying to build a defense that's just more, they just don't give you much space, and they don't let you complete many passes. They don't really run for many yards. I think that's what Dennis Allen, I think that's his identity. I think that's who he's been most of his career. He's never really been a guy who was top tier in the takeaway department. I think he structured this defense around that last year because they were missing the pieces he needed, and that's basically all he could do. But I'm excited that they're adding guys like Kobe Bryant and Devin Bush, and guys who are more violent, and are not afraid of tackling. Yeah.
What's going on, Dustin?
What's going on, Dustin?
What up, Dustin?
He's enjoying Florida. Well, I guess we have Florida-like weather here today, so I can't complain. Garage is open. I'm in shorts and short sleeves. I'm pretty happy. I don't have the palm trees that he has or the ocean, but we'll work that out as we go. Yeah, that was exciting to hear Ben Johnson speak today. I couldn't be more excited to get this thing going and see these pieces come together and get to this draft, which is under a month away now. And we're going to talk about this 7-round mock on ESPN in just a little bit, but to continue to add the pieces and see if they can put this puzzle together and be better than last year. I'm still skeptical. We'll see when all the pieces come together, and then I'll give my final thoughts. But
Rome wasn't built today, man.
That's true.
This might be a 2-year plan, guys.
So I'd much rather have our defense be more of a suffocating defense, because I agree with you as far as the turnovers not being dependable. You can't depend on that to happen. And even we kind of started seeing it after a while. It's one thing to get them, but if you're not scoring off of the turnovers, then it's kind of irrelevant. It becomes you just go fan out, get the ball right back. So.
Yeah, and then you watch, you see when you play guys like Matthew Stafford, who crosses his T's and dots his I's, man, he doesn't put that ball in harm's way very often, and it's tough to beat teams like that because they're not going to give you the ball a ton. So sooner or later, you just have to prevent the other team from scoring and not worry so much about turnovers. I'm glad to hear that, man. I hope for this draft they had a bunch of dogs, man. I hope they had a bunch of guys who love to tackle, love to hit people, are violent, aggressive, guys like Jaquan Brisker who don't get knocked out all the time.
I feel like when you don't get the turnovers, though, the defense kind of starts to press as it gets later on in the game, where you're just like, man, we should have a turnover or two by now. And
they were egregious in their fundamentals and just not just getting a team off the field, if not taking the ball away. But I do want to say this, guys, in regards to how the defense played last year, they were bottom of the league in all categories. They weren't very good other than turnovers, but this offense needs to score in the first half, or I don't know how much it's going to matter with the work that you do on the defensive side of football in this draft and the guys you've added in Bush and Bryant. And we talk about the defense religiously, ad nauseum, as you guys would say, since this offseason began, but we all kind of forgot about the glaring holes that was the first half offense of this Chicago Bears team, and I do expect Ben Johnson to get that right, but it needs to be this year.
Yeah, 100%, and I believe they're gonna get there. I think a lot of these 1-year deals that the Bears signed, I think these guys do the little things right, and they're gonna come together as a unit, especially on the run defense, on the defensive run side. That's just kind of the way I feel. Like none of them are gonna flash, but when you look at their individual things that they're good at, you're like, oh man, most of these guys are pretty stout at run defense. So it looks like they're signing these 1-year deals. So maybe they get their Peter Woods or their Caleb Banks or whoever that D tackle is going to be in the middle. Keep that nice rotation, keep everybody flush and fresh. And, when it comes to Gallimore and I can't remember the kid's name that they just signed that was on Minnesota. What was that kid's name? The white kid. Kyle, help me out.
It was something white, like James or something. It was something very
whatever.
The one that's sticking out to me is Streets from Atlanta.
It was like John Doe or something.
All those guys, man. Lynch, there you go.
I didn't hear what you were talking about, Sean. I was confused. You're talking about Street?
White kid from
Lynch, the guy the last signing they made.
Yeah, Lynch.
Yeah. Those three guys, when you look at what they do, they have high motors and they're good against the run. They may not get after the quarterback, which is what we want, but we also don't want to give up 5.5 yards a carry again, do we? So they're trying to shore up one weakness, and maybe through the draft you get that pass rushing presence in the middle. Grayson Holton hit anybody. Would love to see him join the middle of that Bears defense. The Oklahoma Sooner, I think, will be a great addition to the Chicago.
God bless you,
real quick, guys. Howie says he has a 2-part question for us.
Yeah, bring it, dude.
Howie, I don't see the question. He says Kilgore must see as both I guess a nickel and box safety or strong safety. He says, I say Kyle Lewis is the same. What is exactly is the question, bud?
Was that your 2-part question, Howie? Crooked, why don't you go ahead and take that one?
I'm not hating on you, man. I don't know. I'm confused with what you're asking. Jeremy, I don't know if Jeremy's been here before, right? He's got a picture of Jimi Hendrix there. Last year was good. This year is better. Next year's best. I love it, man. Absolutely.
That's right, Jeremy.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Very clever.
Swaggy says Lynch is scrappy and he's got a high motor. Absolutely. I think he's a really good locker room guy as well, man. How he says also Kyle Lewis is the exact same size as AJ Halsey, yet better combine athlete. Still waiting on a question.
You're gonna sell me on Kyle Lewis, dude. He's one of my favorite players in this 2026 draft. I love that kid so much. The Swiss Army knife, you can do
Chicago
it all.
Team. What's
He reminds me of Nick Imamori, man. He's just a little bit 20 pounds heavier. Could do everything that guy can do.
The philosopher once said, every good Chicago team has a Kyle.
All right, here's the question. Crooked.
But hold on. Kyle, does that mean the Cubs are going to suck because we don't have a Kyle anymore?
Yeah, Kyle.
All right, relax, man.
There's
a Kyle somewhere in the organization. Crooked, I want you to answer this question. He says, would you compare Kyle Lewis the same to AJ Halsey or Kilgore? Just compare the three.
Oh man, to be honest, I haven't looked into those guys, so I wouldn't be able to be the best into answering that without just completely BSing my way through it. So,
Sean, what do you think, man? Do you think Kyle Lewis and Halsey are very similar?
I think they're similar, but I think Kyle Lewis can do a lot more on a football field.
Yeah, he's more of a Dennis Allen guy.
Yeah,
right.
I think he's more of a sound football player, and I like AJ Halsey. He's one of my favorite safeties in this league. But when it comes to Kyle Lewis, man, elite coverage linebacker, fluid hips, natural, free in the zone, confident in man, mirrors routes in slot. I mean, this guy can do everything on the football field. You can move him around. I've been saying these on this show for weeks. You pair him and Kyler Gordon on the field together. Holy shit, that is elite as elite can get. You're covering two sides of the field with two elite defenders that can do everything on a football field. I would love to have this guy here, man. High-level blitzer, closing speed, processes quickly. He's one of my favorite prospects in this draft. You guys know he's that new position, the star position that's coming into the
Brian
NFL.
Branch, Nicky Manwar, nickel linebacker safety guy,
dime safety, big nickel linebacker. I mean, can do everything.
Water boy. Whatever.
Water boy.
Guys, J2K says, I just got done watching Kyle Lewis. I see more of a coverage linebacker than a safety. Kilgore is more of a safety or nickelback. I like it, J2K. Love it, man.
I'll say this, J2K. I'll disagree with you slightly. When I look at his tape, I see an elite coverage linebacker in Kyle Lewis. 110%. We can argue till we're blue in the face. We'll find out when he gets to the league. But I see an elite coverage defender.
Dustin,
at the linebacker position.
Do you guys believe, Crooked? Let's start with you. Dustin says, do you believe that all the moves the Bears have made in this off-season points towards them drafting, or just generally approaching defensive tackle as the position of highest need in the draft?
I think he's asking the opposite. He's saying, I think it's based on the fact that they've signed 3 defensive tackles. Do you think that means they're not going to draft a defensive tackle this year in 2026?
Okay, so start with that, Crooked.
Yeah, no, I thought that's one of the things I kind of been thinking for a while now, is just seeing how much.
Yeah, you did leave that out here. When I asked you your needs, you said safety, linebacker, defensive end, and then center. So yeah, I noticed you left that out.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I could see them maybe using a 6th round or something like that on one of those guys. But I thought with all the signings that they did, the guy from Indy, the Kilgore guy, the Streets, now the guy from Minnesota. Plus, you already have Shamar Turner there. You already have Grady Jarrett there. And then there's somebody else I'm forgetting.
I think Chris Williams is still on the roster, isn't he?
No, it's Javon Dexter is the guy you're missing.
Dexter, yes. Yeah. So it's like you already have so much stockpile there at the defensive tackle position. I would be shocked, if they used one of the first 3 picks on a defensive tackle. If later on in the draft one tends to fall that shouldn't be there, then maybe you use a 4th rounder on there. But that statement, I'm 1,000% agree with right there. It's from what they've done in free agency. I think the writing's on the wall there that they're not looking to use an early investment in the draft picks on a defensive tackle.
Well, you pair that with the fact that Ryan Poles said in his press after the season, we don't necessarily love the depth of defensive tackle in this draft. We do love the depth of defensive end. That's why I think they did address that defensive tackle position in free agency. And that's not to say they're not going to add anybody, but I just don't think they thought there was like a world beater, difference maker, blue chip quality talent guy in this draft. And even if we believe differently, like Sean, you've talked about this a million times, there's a ton of guys in this draft who I think are really good at defensive tackle. But remember, Dennis Allen has never drafted one of those massive 310 pound. He's never drafted. Like Sean, didn't you say you did the research? And I don't think he's ever had one on his defense in the history of his coaching career.
He has not. He's never had a 300 pounder that he's drafted. Now, if someone was on the team, the different story. But he's never.
Yeah, but when he gets here, people like Billings go.
Yeah,
he gets rid of them, dude.
That's why for a few weeks everyone's like Caden McDonald, and I'm like, man, Caden McDonald may be a good player, but he doesn't address your number one need, which is pressure up the middle, and he's also 329 pounds. That's not what the history of Dennis Allen says he's looking for. Now, hey, anyone could change, but he's been a coach long enough. I think he knows what he's looking for, right? But that's why I like Grayson Holton so much, dude. I think Grayson Holton just fits right. Fits that mold, man.
I'm sorry, guys. Scrolls. This is I love Kyler Gordon. I resent this statement, but that's hilarious,
dude. That's not cool, man.
Eyelash. That's hilarious.
They were extensions too. That's the thing that makes it weird. They were extensions. Like they weren't even his real eyelashes.
You guys. We can sit here talk about the Bears defense, the draft all day. But at the end of the day, the guy who's probably going to be the most important outside of all the draft picks and free agency guys is how much Kyler Gordon plays next year is going to make a huge difference to this defense. It's just a different defense when he's out there, man.
Don't disrespect my guy.
Very nice.
Sean, you know what? That counts as a Kyle. That counts as a Kyle. Now you got two. You got Monungai, and they're going to draft Kyle Lewis too. There's going to be three of those motherfuckers.
Oh God, if they have Kyle Monungai, Kyler Gordon, and Kyle Lewis, Super Bowl. Forget about it.
All Kyle out.
I still can't help but think, guys, the safety is the primary target in this draft. I think that's if one of these guys, the Thienemans, the Downs, the McNeil Warren falls to you, that's the guy they're going to pick. I can almost promise you, if you still see one of those names remaining on the board at 25, book it. You heard it here. That's the guy who's going to go to the Bears.
Downs, you said?
What's that?
What you said? Downs? Caleb Downs, you were saying, or what?
Yeah, Caleb Downs, Thieneman, or Emmanuel McNeil Warren. If one of those guys is available, Downs won't be, but the injury is becoming a concern for a lot of GMs in the NFL. If one of those guys were to be available at 25, that's the player you're going to see the Bears pick.
I'm with you, J2K. If because I'm with Brandon here, 110%. If Emmanuel McNeil Warren is on the board at 25, I will be crossing my fingers and saying, please take that guy right here, right now. And then AJ Halsey would not be a need. But if they do happen to pass or take an edge, say Kendrick Falk was there at 25, go ahead and rock me out AJ Halsey at 57 if he's still around. And I'm okay with that too. You know what I mean? And I hate to say this, man, and I think you can get him in the third round. I'd be okay with Kamari Ramsey. Everyone seems to just be pushing that guy like he's not a good talent. That guy's a talented individual, man.
Well, Sean, let me ask you.
You got Genesis. You got Bud Clark. You got a couple of guys who might fall the latter rounds. I just think when I look at these teams in the NFL, and you're talking about which these guys list needs based on the things that were glaring issues during the last season, with defensive tackle obviously being the Bears' biggest problem, but when you look at how little you have invested at safety in regards to how many you have on the roster and how much money you have in the position, it is where you have the least invested. And I think it's with the Bears, like Dustin kind of said, you're molding your draft through your offseason, through free agency. It seemed like they were kind of like, let's push the safety thing off to the draft. That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah, and as you say that, as J2K says, I would rather draft a safety. I would not draft a safety at 25. I think it should be a DN more than a safety, but Halsey is my number 2. I'll say this right now. Nick Immanmori makes a lot of people look foolish, and if you believe that capability is an EMW, man, you pull that trigger. But
and the same could be said for Will Johnson when it comes to Caleb Downs. Caleb
Yeah.
Downs is dealing with the exact same injury that Will Johnson was dealing with last year. Will Johnson, by all accounts, was supposed to be a top 10 pick in the draft. People were shied away from him because of that degenerative knee issue, which we've heard a doctor say is easily recoverable. And everybody passed Will Johnson, and he had an amazing season in Arizona. Looked like one of the best corners in the NFL. So yeah, if Caleb Downs is there at 25 and you have a chance to get a blue chip quality talent who should have been drafted in the top 10, but because of this injury scare, all of a sudden he's dropping, I'm taking him, man. That's just me. Add blue chip quality talent, guys, whenever you possibly can. The more stars, the better your team will be.
If one of those three guys wasn't there, you'll definitely go edge. But if one of those three safeties is available that I aforementioned, you're gonna take one of those guys.
Let me ask you guys, you three guys and the chat. If Emmanuel Warren is there at 25 and so is Kendrick Falk, which way are you going?
I like McNeil Warren. Dustin would be Falk all the way if he was on this show, but I'm going. I think McNeil Warren has the potential to be the best safety in the draft.
I agree with you, Brandon. Commish, which way would you go?
Falk. I just think Falk. When you talk about earlier about Dennis Allen and kind of guys that kind of fit his structure and what he likes, I think Falk kind of slides right into that, being a 6'6" guy. He's got the size there, and I think he would fit in pretty good and address the need that we desperately needed all of last season, to give Sweat some consistent help of some pressure on the other end. You start flipping him and Booker in and out. I think
I like that.
And if you look at the jump that Booker made from year 1 to year 2, it's absolutely phenomenal. That people have not given him enough credit for what he's done, man. It's insane. The guy had played for 9 games, basically. I guess you could say 10 and a quarter or 9 and a quarter, and had 4.5 sacks, multiple pressures, I think 10 tackles for loss. I mean, he just became a totally different player. If you just assume that he makes another jump in year 3, you're talking about a real quality talent. And maybe he's just one of those pass rush specialists. When you have a full healthy unit, you can actually rotate guys in. Maybe he's part of that NASCAR package where he's just in there on 3rd and long and he knows they're going to throw the ball.
Like a Mark Anderson.
Yeah, but either way, man, I expect him to finish the season with at least 8 sacks. I think anything less than that would be disappointing for Austin Booker. And I think he would tell you that himself if you asked him. Sean, here's a question by J2K.
If Downs is say the chat is all EMW on this one, man.
Yeah, sure.
J2K says he doesn't like Falk and Warren is overhyped. So
J2K also asked Sean if Downs fell to 20, are you trading up for him?
My answer would be no. I guess it would depend on what we give up, because we don't have that much draft capital to begin with, and I'm not into giving much away.
So I would. Caleb Downs is my favorite player in this draft. He really is. But I just in regards to the position, I find, guys, if you look at the history of Dennis Allen and Ryan Poles is always talking about building a team from the inside out, but he clearly just hasn't done that. That's gone against everything this guy has done in practice. And Dennis Allen values the secondary more than anything on his defense. To me, all signs point towards safety in this 25th pick. Kyle, what about you? You taking Downs at 20? You trade?
I'll tell you this, Bernard. I could certainly tell you the Prophet agrees with you. Safety has to be the first pick, because he said we don't even have a starting safety and we have 5 defensive tackles. So
we do have a starting safety.
Well, I mean, he's saying all the positions we're talking about, we are still missing one of our starting safeties.
That's true.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. I don't know if the Bears agree with that. Maybe the Bears like one of these Elijah Hicks more than we do.
God.
Yeah. I mean, man, honestly, I agree with some of the people in the chat here that are saying best available player. You guys have heard me say this 1,000 times. Whoever they have highest in their draft board, whoever they think is a blue chip quality player, a superstar, a guy who's going to be a guy who's going to change the trajectory of your defense or offense, I draft as many of those guys as possible. And even if it doesn't match up with the position of need, if you draft enough studs, sooner or later your team's going to get a lot better. I mean, that's basically what the Philadelphia Eagles did before they went to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years.
Hey, let me throw some at that. Real quick. Let me throw some at that Caleb question. Somebody made a remark about being okay with the quarterback with the lowest completion percentage for 2 years straight. Well, first off,
Well, I can't even acknowledge those things.
It's the things outside of completion percentage that make Caleb the quarterback of the future for this football team. But I texted you this today, Sean. Press Taylor, in the 2 years that Trevor Lawrence played underneath him, and I know he's not the play caller, he is, however, the quarterback coach, basically. He really will be as an offensive coordinator. He's going to be in Caleb's ear a lot, Press Taylor. Trevor Lawrence had his best completion percentage in the 2 years that he played under Press Taylor, and once Press Taylor left, it plummeted right back down.
Real quick, Commish, do you know this name? Nia D89. Ever seen that?
I do not know that name.
Nia, thanks for joining the show. We appreciate it. They say join late. Yeah, thank you so much. They say join late. When do you draft, or when in the draft do you fill the hole that Dalton created? Yeah, we talked about that a little bit earlier in the show, but I think the Bears will probably, if they're going to address the center position, it'll be third round or later for sure. It's not going to be one of those first 2 rounds.
And I really wanted to say, if we were giving up 60 and getting downs, and that's all we had to give up, I'd be interested in that. If it's multiple picks, we have to build to the draft, guys. We don't have a lot of picks. If you're giving up multiple picks to move up 5 slots to draft downs, you're hurting yourself down the road. No.
So do you think it's more likely? Do you think it's more likely that they stay at 25 and pick, or trade down a little bit?
Someone put Malachi Lawrence in here. If the
That's a
Bears
good
were to
question.
trade down into the beginning of the second round and they were to take Malachi Lawrence, I will be all in. I will be all in on that, because he is probably I wouldn't say he's my favorite defensive end, but where his value is slotted, he's my favorite defensive end. I'll say that.
What about Christian Miller?
I like Christian Miller. I do. I do. And that's kind of why I'm saying the Bears have so many needs. Why are we giving up draft picks to move up when we can maybe not get downs quality, but we can be just below it by getting a Halsey or an EMW or one of these other guys? You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to give up draft capital. I want to do what they did last year and hit on these picks and build this roster and get some quality depth. That's just me, though.
But Downs is a blue chip.
I agree.
You're hitting on Downs if you draft Downs. But
I agree. I mean, but if you're going to trade draft capital away, it would have to be a blue chip quality player who's already established himself in the NFL. You're talking about like a Myles Garrett. I'm sorry, man. Like even though Josh Downs looks amazing, and I think there's a good chance he's a damn good player in the NFL, and he is considered a blue chip quality player. He was considered a top 10 pick. To me, it's got to be somebody who changes the entire trajectory of your defense. Like you go from 20th defense in the NFL to 9th defense in the NFL. That's how big of an impact he makes. I don't know if Downs is that guy. Now, if the Bears were like, hey, we're going to trade 2 draft picks away for Myles Garrett, that's a different situation. that guy's the finisher, man. That guy is the Aaron Donald. You know, he's the guy who can change the game at the snap of a finger.
Well,
I don't know if Downs is that guy. You got to keep as much draft capital as you can. I agree, Sean.
I trade my whole draft for Sonny Styles, though.
Crooked, I'll start with you. Do you believe that the safety or the edge position has more depth in this draft?
Safety.
I think if you're looking at guys like
No, I'm sorry. No, the edge. I'm sorry.
I would agree. Kyle, what do you think? I think you got Derek Moore, Yakis, a guy I like, Vincent Anthony. You've got a lot of players.
Close.
I think it's pretty close.
I think it's pretty damn close.
I think it's pretty damn close.
I mean, dude, you guys, there's a couple safeties that I like. Michael Taft. There's a couple guys that never even get talked about. That I'm not saying they're going to be the best. They're all going to be like first American all pros. But there are guys in this draft who I think if you drafted them because you couldn't get a safety early or the guy you wanted was gone already, I think there's some guys you get in the third round who could still improve your defense, and they wouldn't be necessarily like a liability or a handicap. I think Michael Taft's going to be a good player in the NFL. Now, listen, the later you get in the draft, the more specific these guys become. Like they're more situational. They're good at certain things, but not good at other things. So there's going to be a sacrifice for sure. But I think there's a ton of talent at the safety position. I think there's a ton of talent at the defensive end position. The only thing I'll say, guys, is I've talked about this many a time. Secondary guys, it's an easier transition in the NFL. Those guys make an impact immediately. Look at Nicky Ward. The guy was one of the best players in the NFL. Look at Will Johnson, one of the best players in the NFL. These guys were in their rookie season. Defensive end and defensive tackles, that's a tough transition in the NFL. Rarely do you look at Abdul Carter. The guy was drafted the top 3. He had 1.5 sacks, 2.5 sacks. Defensive end, the transition from college to the NFL is a tough transition. So if you're really that worried about your pass rush, you draft one now expecting him to make an impact next year.
Well, and the thing is, man, you're so if you're drafting an edge, even high guys, even one of the guys we like, right? The guys you like the most in this draft, do you believe that the Bears still allow Montez Sweat and Austin Booker to be the starting players come week 1? I would imagine so. Whatever safety it is you draft is going to be your starter in the first week of the season without question. Without question.
Oh, 100%. I agree with that 100%. I agree with that 100%. So it almost makes more sense that you're taking a safety first because he is your starter, a position of need.
Right.
And that's kind of how I feel, Brendan. And I'm kind of with you 100%. I've been saying this like you have for the last couple of weeks, man. I think it's going to be a safety because it is the position of need. It's an instant starter. It's supposed to be a blue chip player when you get – I don't care. I know what they're saying right now that after the top 10, this draft really drops off. I don't know that I necessarily agree with that.
Say that.
We went over this a couple of weeks ago. All these players that are stars that were taken third round, some are Hall of Famers, that were taken after the third round. These experts don't know shit, dude. They're guessing like we are.
Swaggy
it's like being a weatherman, Sean.
Swaggy asked, doesn't defensive tackle make the most sense? Yeah, but Swaggy, how many times have we talked about best available player? Like if there's been 5 defensive tackles drafted before 25, and then it gets to the Bears and not a single defensive end or a single safety are taken, and the best available are still there, you're not going to reach for the 6th best defensive tackle in the draft over the best safety or best defensive end because that's the position you feel like you need the most. You take stars, and eventually your team will get better. I promise. The more stars on the team you have, the better your team's going to be. Listen, I would love to see the Bears fill one of their holes, but if the Bears thought the best available player in the draft at 25 was a receiver and they decided to take him, I trust the process. I trust Ben Johnson. I trust Dennis Allen. I trust Ryan Bowles. If they were like, hey man, this is the best available player, this guy, we can now trade a Doomsday and we can lean on Luther Burden and this guy because he's such a star. He's going to be a difference maker, top 5 receiver in the NFL. I'm all for adding Pro Bowlers, guys who are perennial Pro Bowlers or who make an impact at every single game and can take over a game. That's what I want.
And
let me ask
really quick, Kyle. I got to give Colin Crane here a round of applause because it was James Augustine we were thinking of.
Yeah, Sean, rumors going around that maybe the Bears are interested in parting ways with one Tyreek Stevenson. Crooked Commission, let me ask you a question. If the Bears decided to trade Tyreek Stevenson to the Kansas City Chiefs tomorrow, do you think that cornerback becomes a position of need in the draft, or do you think they're okay with guys like Terrell Smith and Zay Frazier?
No, I think you're gambling too much with relying on those guys. I think if you do pull off that move, you better have a cornerback in mind. That may be a draft day trade because you're like, okay, this next pick that we're going to be getting, we're going to use this on a corner. I just don't think there's enough depth there for you to be able to trade Tyreek. But I do understand where you do need to make some sort of move, whether it be restructuring or whatnot, just because of you need money for these rookies that are coming in.
Yeah, Tyreek's not going to save you a ton of money. He's still on his rookie contract. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. Like, and Prophet here says he thinks corner is already position need. I think you could make an argument that every position is a position of need outside of quarterback. But if you're talking about the hierarchy, if you're talking about which is a priority, I don't think corner is high in the Bears list right now. No, I think Tyreek Stevenson's a good player and could be even better player. He has a higher ceiling, but maybe the Bears feel like he doesn't fit this scheme. Sean, do you think he's going to be traded?
Well, after I just spent last Wednesday praising him, I really hope not. I hope not. I think that he's putting in the work. He put out another, that workout video I showed you guys on Wednesday. He put out another one today saying part 2. I mean, this guy's in the facility. He's putting in the work. I think he's maturing under Al Harris and realizing that he has a potential. We went over what he did in his rookie year where he flashed the signs of being a high-level corner in the NFL. So for me, I would say it's in a contract year. Give him the year to prove it. I hope they don't trade him, but if they do, I mean, what are you getting? A 5th, maybe 6th round pick?
Yeah, but if you don't plan on if you have no plans on re-signing him, a 5th round pick is better than letting him walk him for
and if that's the case, but here's my
unless you tag and trade him next year if he has a phenomenal season.
But what I was going to say, what if this dude comes out, shows out, goes back to his rookie year form, and all of a sudden now you got a conundrum on your hands? Do you re-sign this guy?
I think they'd have to see what they get out of Zay Frazier before they make that decision, don't you? Because this is the coaching staff that drafted Zay Frazier. They didn't draft Tyreek Stevenson. Al Harris and Dennis Allen wanted Zay Frazier, and they talked very highly of him before he missed the entire season for who the hell knows what. I think that Tyreek Stevenson is going to get a chance to prove himself if he's here in Chicago when the season begins. But I bet you the leash is very short, guys. I bet you the leash.
I'm going to sound off on this, and I would love I'm open to anybody to come on this show and debate me on this, you are hard pressed to make a convincing argument to me that the Bears just simply don't like this player all that much. 2 different coaching organizations have benched this guy. He was sent to a character camp in the offseason by Al Harris. Al Harris did draft a player that he liked, and when that player purported healthy in 2026, that is Zay Frazier, he was told he'll compete for his starting position on this roster.
Just
Tyreek
like Nation
Stevenson
Wright.
is
Just
on the
like
back
Nation
burner.
Wright.
He's not going to get a second contract on this football team. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's production or performance. There's something more to it. He had the Hail Mary thing, which obviously bothered a lot of people inside the locker room and some of the coaches, people that still remain in the front office. There is nothing you can say to me that could convince me that there is not some slight animosity towards this player on this roster. There is something about Tyreek Stevenson that the Bears just do not like. There's nothing you can say to convince me otherwise.
Yeah, he may not be able to get that stink off of him from that Hail Mary thing. Well, but the thing I will say with Zah Frazier real quick. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I do like his speed, because that's one of the things that the cornerbacks position struggled with last year. You know, we saw St. Brown and all types of speedy receivers running away from our cornerbacks and getting wide open. So the one thing I am looking for from Zah Frazier and getting on the field is him be able to keep up with these speedy receivers, because that's something we desperately need from our corners.
Oh, and the thing I didn't even mention, Kyle, you mentioned it a week ago. When Jalen Johnson returned to the field, guys, the assumption for all of us Bears fans was that Jalen Johnson, Tyreek Stevenson are going to be the players on this football team, the starting players on this. Nashon Wright took Stevenson off the field.
Yeah, exactly.
They're sending all kinds of messages
what's
to this
concerning,
guy.
What's concerning is the fact that Tyreek Stevenson was here healthy, and you had guys like Nick McLeod, Nashon Wright, and C.J. Gardner-Johnson were put on the field before he was. Even after C.J. Gardner-Johnson was here for like 30 seconds, he was still. Now, obviously, I understand that's because he's better in the nickel, but yeah, I think he has fallen out of favor. I think he has fallen out of favor, and I think if Zay Frazier has a good training camp, that's your starter. Real quick, do you guys know this name, Brent?
Yeah, that's with me.
Oh, that's
Crazy Ace. Thanks for joining us, brother.
What's up, Crazy Ace? How you doing, brother? Thanks for joining the show, man.
Crazy. That's a shout out to him. He is protecting us over in South Korea as well. So thank you for doing it.
Thank you for your service, brother.
Crazy. Love and appreciate, man. We hope you're safe out there, man.
Thanks for your service, man.
Mad respect, bro.
Yeah, when it comes to Zah Frazier, I'm cautiously optimistic. I mean, blazing speed, as Kamish pointed out, 4.37 40, 6'3", 186, uber fast, tall, lengthy, can hang with these guys. And he drew some comparisons to Tariq Woolen, who everyone wanted the Chicago Bears to sign. So maybe Woolen is already on this roster. We don't know. We don't know what he is. The fact that he's going to turn 25. I know a lot of people in our chat are against drafting any old guys. So everyone who says we won't draft old guys, we drafted him at 24 years old last year in the 5th round. He'd be 25 this October during the football season. So, and when you look at him, Tyreek Woolen, 6'4", 200 pounds, 4'2", 640. Zay Frazier, 6'3", 185, 4'3", 640. Both wore number 3 at the University of Texas, San Antonio. And we'll see if Al Harris can unlock him, man. And if we know one thing about Al Harris, it's a specialty, man. He gets the best out of these guys. And you guys may be right. I was hoping because Tyreek Stevenson had a good year and he's been a Bear that maybe he will put it together and give the Bears an asset. But if you guys are correct in saying it's just gone, it's foregone conclusion, he's ruined it here with this staff. The staff doesn't want him here. Go get a pick. Let's move on.
It just feels like they don't treat Tyreek as a part of their future. I don't get that vibe. Like I said, for one coaching staff and Eberflus to bench you because you made the mistakes you made, that's understandable. It's just reprimand. When the next coaching staff comes in and benches you based on performance, there's something these guys just don't like about this guy, guys. There's no doubt about it.
Real quick before we pile on to Tyreek Stevenson, I just want to say something, guys. Now, listen, his coverage corner by PFF, and I know not everybody loves PFF, and it's not the all-NLPL, but his coverage grades by PFF for three years he's been in the NFL were 59, 60, 59. So he's not that's worrisome, right? He's not improving. Even with the defensive coaching change, he has not improved. But I will say one thing about Tyreek Stevenson. he is a willing tackler, and he's willing to put himself in harm's way. And that's, you got to give him a little respect for that, because the guy in the last 3 years, his first year, he was a 54 in run stopping grade. Next year was a 63 or something like that. This last year, guys, 85, ranked third out of 40 corners in the NFL at stopping the run. So I think he would actually fit the Chiefs style more than he would the Chicago Bears. I think
But I want to say this. 'Cause I don't actually dislike Tyreek Stevenson.
I don't either.
I was
Neither
super
do I.
excited for the progression of Tyreek Stevenson under Al Harris. After he went to the character camp for Al Harris, I thought, wow, this means big things. They obviously have a spotlight on this guy. They think he could shine in this defense. He's a press corner, which Dennis Allen loves. He's really aggressive at the line. But I was fucking wrong. There's something about this guy, man. I like him. I'm speaking on behalf of the Bears, guys, from a fan's standpoint, from what I've seen. If the message is sent to us as fans only through symbols and what we see on the field, there's something there. There's something there for sure.
Yeah. We all see the signs of abusive relationships, and he's just not being loved over there in that locker
There
room.
you go, Crook. There you go. Way to word it.
I mean, yeah. So, I mean, not physically there, of course, but just verbally, like they just like, like kind of putting him in the doghouse. It seems like more often than not, unfortunately. But
yeah,
it changes
majority of his career, right?
Yeah, it's sucking. I'm not saying being a good tackler is worth a roster spot, but it's better than not being a good tackler, right?
Yeah.
Nick
compared to fucking Eddie.
Eddie Jackson. Hey, you took
Eddie
the word out of my
shoulder,
mouth.
Shoulder bump Eddie. I hated seeing that.
Shoulder bump Eddie.
I'm taking Tyreek over Eddie Jackson every day. I don't even give what position it is. I'm taking him over. Eddie Jackson was useless, absolutely useless.
So
useless. What's up, James?
And I'll say that I want to say this real quick too. I know some players are kind of like
quite possibly
hesitant to drafting older players or players that are like coming in. Home run Cubs?
Nope, 2-0 Cubs though.
3-0.
I'll take that. There we go.
3-0.
But as far as drafting older players, a guy or like in his mid-20s and whatnot, I'm not too opposed to it, because it's one of those things where if we draft him and we win a championship, we do get what we wanted out of him. And when it's time for him to get paid when he's 29, 30, we just give him his walking papers and say, hey, thanks for what you did for us. We got our ring, and it's time for you to get your payday, but just not with us, with somewhere else.
AC Adams disagrees with you boys.
Well, and that might be the reason, Cricket.
Yeah, Sean. Yeah,
a guy like
until he got paid.
A guy like Zay Frazier might have fallen to you where he did in the draft because of his age. So it sometimes benefits you that a guy's on the older side. And I'm going to say this to everybody in the chat who hates on older players in the draft: you better start fucking getting used to this.
Yeah,
these NIL deals are keeping these guys in for 5 years.
Yeah,
these guys are in no rush to be drafted to the NFL, and it's going to be something you see more. The average age of a player drafted to the NFL will raise every single year. I could truly believe that. I would start to expect this to be a thing. So the reality is, did the guy play enough in college to prove that he's a pro? I would start worrying a little less about how old he is. Because Bud Clark's a pro player.
It's not like people complain about adding an aging veteran for a couple of years if he's helping you win a championship. Like, listen, was David Ross the best signing the Cubs have ever made? Absolutely not. But did he help you win a championship? 100%. Yeah.
And did Jaden Daniels' age look like it affected him as a pro?
No,
he was like 25 when he got fucking drafted.
His skinny body frame. Yeah. His thin body.
Michael Penix and Jaden Daniels were like 24, turning 25 when they were drafted. Those guys still have futures ahead of them. You don't know what they're going to be, but Jaden Daniels certainly looks to be the part. And I would expect this guy's moving forward to be a pretty consistent thing. Sean, we've talked a lot about this. The NIL deal, the making money in college, the no need to rush, the develop yourself as a pro even more in college, stick around another year. You see these guys filing appeals against being forced to be drafted. You see this? Mm-hmm. There's players that are being told, like, you can't play here in college anymore, and they're filing appeals. Like, no, I'm sticking around.
Like, I'm making more money in college than I would in my first contract in the pros.
Exactly.
Yeah, Crazy Ace is making an argument that it's actually going to be a benefit. He says, so let me ask you then, would you take a player from college who only had 2 years of experience, or someone who played for 5 years and has more experience and has become a grown man and gotten bigger? That's a good point, man. I mean, I bet you the transition is a lot easier for a 24-year-old.
And I've done a study on quarterbacks, and you guys, you were with me through all this over the last year's offseason. I started to look into quarterbacks' pass attempts, which obviously the more years you play, the more that number increases. And the guys like J.J. McCarthy and Anthony Richardson, who have all the physical talent in the world, they fail miserably and fall flat on their face early in their careers. And that's not to say they don't become pros eventually, but the guys who play more years in college have an immediate impact in the NFL. And guys, with your 4-year rookie deal, these coaches are expected to make winners out of you before your rookie contract ends. You're going to want a guy who's played 5 years, who's played through 1,500 pass attempts in college versus Anthony Richardson, who threw 353 when he was drafted like second overall.
Or Mitchell Trubisky.
Yes, that is our prime example. That is our prime example.
And James is reiterating Ace's point here. He says Dexter is 24 years old and he most likely won't get another contract with us. So you got the best years of Javon Dexter, and he hasn't been super impressive. Now listen, I don't dislike Javon Dexter as much as everybody else, but I understand the point he's making. Like, just because you have a guy who's younger doesn't mean he's necessarily going to be a bigger impact player. I don't know the science behind drafting a guy who's 21 as opposed to drafting a guy who's 24. I'm sure I don't know if you could quantify which is more valuable to the team. But to be honest with you guys, like you said, Crooked Commish, as long as it's a dog and somebody who gives a shit about football and wants to play and is violent and he puts his body on the line for his teammates, I don't give a shit how old he is, as long as he's not 40, right?
Yeah, as long as he's a killer, like Brandon said, the coach was talking about
train killer.
Kobe there. Yeah,
Sean,
we need more of those.
Speaking of aging veterans, who do you think should be the wide receiver number 3 for the Chicago Bears next year?
He's already.
Do you think it should be a guy like Kalif Raymond or a young man like Jahdae Walker?
This is very, very exciting for me because this is the topic I've been dying for. And I'm gonna, if you guys don't follow Jahdae Walker, I've done a deep dive into this guy the last bunch of weeks. I have a huge piece that I'm gonna have coming out on him. I'll be dropping it here in the next week or so. But he's putting out some awesome videos on his Instagram, and I'm gonna play 30 seconds of one right here. Follow this guy because he's all about motivation, hard work, dedication. Let's check it out.
Big Rev always tell me this. He be like, yo, bro, they not better than you. They just got there before you did.
Real, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
real.
We gonna walk down everybody. Like, that's just how I see it. You know what I'm saying? And just being consistent.
That's
what
right.
we doing, having the right mindset and not compromising who you are as a man.
That's right, bro.
Get that.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And for
Absolutely.
me, just growing how I was raised is an asset. It's an advantage. I'm not tripping on not having money. I grew up poor. So, like, I'm cool with not having. I know how to survive without money.
Wow.
So we're going to do it the right way.
I love this kid, man. I know Kalif Raymond is here for a reason, but you know me, Kyle. You guys know me. I love stories. And Dante Purify is the guy who brought Jahdae Walker to us. And, what makes his rise more compelling for me is the path that he took from Division II Grand Valley State to Texas A&M to undrafted free agent to working his ass off in training camp to earning a spot to getting the game-tying touchdown against the Green Bay Packers, one of the most important games for the Chicago Bears when he had to full roll. This kid's all heart by design himself. He wants it, and he may want it more than Kalif Raymond. I love this battle in this third spot for the Chicago Bears because I think these two guys are going to push each other, and the Bears might end up having much better depth. We were talking about they have to draft someone, and maybe the Bears don't have the same belief in Jahdae Walker, which I don't believe because they chose to give him a contract. I think this kid's going to have a really good season, and I think Kalif Raymond's going to fall into his setup role. He brings that, speed, special teams explosiveness, that veteran depth presence who maybe will help mold Jahdae Walker into the guy who will be the number 3 for the Chicago Bears for a long time to come. So I don't know where you guys are with this, but Jahdae Walker is growing on me so freaking much. And diving deep into him and listening to his story, no kidding, this guy was wearing the same pair of shoes for 10 years, man. He grew up broke. His story is phenomenal, and I'm wishing him all the success, and I hope he finds it right here in Chicago. Where are you guys at?
Yeah, Sean, I mean, listen, I love the fact that Kalif Raymond's here. He is probably the best punt returner in the NFL. I mean, statistically, he is the best punt returner in the NFL, and I think he's certainly going to play a role in this team. But Sean, yeah, I'm starting to get vibes like he's kind of the Zacchaeus and Walker's kind of the burden, right? And at some point, your goal is for Walker. He's much younger. He's got you got him under contract for 3 years. I think the sky's the limit for him. You know what Kalif Raymond is, and listen, I like Kalif Raymond a lot, but let's face it, guys, his best years in the NFL were 2021 to 2023. It's 2026. You know, nobody beats father time. I think at the end of the day, I like that Kalif Raymond's here for his security blanket in case of injury. I like the fact that Kalif Raymond could play a role on this team, but I think it's a no-brainer. If you're talking about which one has a higher ceiling, you don't know anything about Jahdae Walker's ceiling. So until you find out, I think he should get every opportunity to win that job. What do you think about that, Commish?
I agree kind of like what Sean was saying there as far as he could definitely be a good mentor and kind of role model and whatnot for Jahdae to kind of mold it, kind of look at what this guy's doing and whatnot, especially since Raymond should be very familiar with Ben Johnson's offense. I mean, that's part of the main reasons why he came to Chicago is to play with Ben Johnson again. So any kind of questions or kind of issues that the receivers may have, which I don't expect they should have much considering this is going into year 2, but if he sees something that they're maybe not doing, they're not running the route quite the right way or cutting at the wrong time, he's someone that should be there to be like, yo, you need to be, you're responsible to be here at this spot, or you're cutting too soon, or you're doing, this and that. So I'm excited to have him in there. But I do think Jahdae should be the future. I loved hearing that clip that just shows us how hungry he is. And he's not, like I said, not worried about the money, more looking for the opportunity and stuff.
Yeah.
Eventually that money will come with you, if you ball out on your opportunity.
Well said, man. Well said. Brandon?
Yeah, well said, Commish.
Yeah, I think you brought in a guy like Kalif Raymond who's going to immediately be a leader in this locker room. I think it was Amon-Ra St. Brown said he's the best teammate he's ever had at any level of football he's ever played. And I do believe that Kalif Raymond, Kyle, you're correct. He provides something, but it's not enough. He's a great returner, and he plays a limited role on offense, and I think that's who he's going to be here in Chicago, the same as he was in Detroit under Ben Johnson, because he didn't really, to me, guys, I never thought he was like an impact player when that Detroit team was winning football games and winning the NFC North. And I believe that the contrast is what's most important here, which is why Jahdae Walker is important no matter how much football Kalif Raymond's played in the NFL or how familiar he is with Ben Johnson. Is you have a guy who's strictly a burner, and you got a guy who's really your biggest receiver on your football team at this juncture. And I would say that I'm looking at Jahdae Walker as more of a DJ Moore replacement, and Kalif Raymond is more of a Devin Duvernay replacement, because that's kind of the role he played in Detroit. But Jahdae Walker, like Sean said, has risen to every moment.
Yep.
I mean, every time this guy, if somebody puts this guy down, he takes it personal and he uses it as arsenal, and he gets back up. And when the moment is at its biggest, especially in the preseason, guys, he was catching game-winning touchdowns, from Tyson Bagent. And he was getting rocked when he was catching those balls. And then he caught the pass Sean talked about, the game-tying pass in the Packers game, where I thought Caleb overthrew that ball. And I don't know that any other receiver on this football team would have got up and gotten that, because it looked to me like it was going out of bounds until Walker got up there. So I think the beauty of it is that Walker provides this kind of more of a possession guy, a guy who can get up. He's a big body. He's a big target.
Hey,
another guy for Caleb Williams.
Sorry, Brendan. Crazy Ace on his way out. Hey, Crazy, we appreciate everything you're doing, man.
Hey, thank you, man.
Love it, man. Keep it up, man.
Crazy.
Respect.
We're at 912. Where you at, brother?
South Korea.
Yeah. South
Korea.
Fuck, God bless you.
Hey,
man.
stay safe
awesome
out there, man. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to come join us, man. We really appreciate that shit. And thanks, Crooked Commish, for inviting him in, man. Good dude, obviously, bro.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much for your service,
we pray for your safety, man. So God bless you, man.
Please come back to us so we can watch Bears games together.
That's right.
Sure. You guys, fifth. Do you know this name, Crooked Commish? Fifth of
95-1. I've never seen him.
Hey, Fifth, thanks for joining the show, man. We appreciate you. Thanks for joining the show, man. Please.
The beauty to me in these two players is the contrast. They're nothing like each other. I don't think that you can say one guy's going to play versus the other guy, because they provide very different things. And when Ben Johnson needs a guy like he did in Jahdae Walker's role last year, that's where Jahdae Walker's going to be. When you want to kind of try to take the top off, that's where Kalif Raymond's going to play. But I don't think Ben Johnson's going to be using a guy like Kalif Raymond more often than a guy like Jade Walker in the offense that he runs.
Yeah, the thing for me is I do agree with you, Brandon. I think that Jahdae Walker, as long as he continues to improve on what he did last year, and I love the comment by Prophet over there saying, they went to him in a huge moment. He already kind of gained the trust of the offense last year. I mean, Ben Johnson isn't throwing it, or Caleb Williams isn't throwing it to a guy he doesn't trust. In that big of a moment, but for me, I think you're going to see Raymond in the way they kind of use DJ Moore a little bit, maybe on some of these jet sweeps, screens, some of these motion and creative offensive packages that, the trickery that Ben Johnson likes to put out there, kind of a useful Swiss Army knife, explosive punt returner, speed guy, gadget guy, just a guy who can do it all. And then you're going to see Jahdae Walker running routes, maybe taking the spot of DJ Moore, but I also think you'll see, I personally think you might see Kalif Raymond on some of these deep routes because of that impressive speed that he has.
Well, and then Sean, remember that Detroit offense when Ben Johnson was in control, but always had another guy, a bigger guy, like Patrick.
Yeah.
They always had a receiver who stepped up and caught a plethora of touchdowns on that football team. And that's the role I could see Jahdae Walker serving, where I think Kyle's right in saying that Kalif Raymond will probably be who he has been and who he is on this offense here.
Well, he clearly came out and said, I'm here to take the number 3 role. So,
I like that mentality.
Yeah. I'm curious as to how the conversation went when Ben Johnson sat down with Kalif Raymond and his agent. You think Raymond, I'm sure Raymond was like, so what's going to be my role here? Am I the number 3 receiver? I'm hoping that Ben Johnson was like, hey man, you know me, Kalif, it's always competition. Whoever wins the competition wins the job. But we'd certainly love to have you be part of this team, be a locker in the leading room. You talk about guys like Grady Jarrett. I think he was here to help out some of these young defensive linemen. You talk about guys like Joe Tooney. I think he's here to help out some of these young offensive linemen. Kalif Raymond could certainly do that in the wide receiver room. I think that's why what's his name is here as a quarterback. I don't think that you're ever going to rely on, why am I drawing a blank, Sean?
Case Keenum.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they ever plan on Case Keenum playing a huge role on this team or playing 5, 6, 7 games in a row. I think that's why Tyson Bagent beat him out for the number 2. Kalif Raymond is a good signing no matter what. No matter how much he plays as wide receiver, I think he still serves a purpose to the Chicago Bears. But like I said, man, if you're talking about like the mystery of who has a higher ceiling, we know what Kalif Raymond is. We all know what Kalif Raymond is, and that's fine. He's a good player. He serves a purpose. But Jahdae Walker could be a starter. I'm not saying he is, but he could be. You don't know. You haven't seen enough of him. I can still tell you this. I've seen him in 2 preseason games and a regular season game catch game-winning or game-tying touchdowns, and that's a damn good start. I'll say that.
And don't forget this, guys. Kalif Raymond is not Jameson Williams, and do not count out the Bears drafting a 4-3 receiver in this draft.
I wouldn't replace
Kalif Raymond entirely.
I do want to get to a couple things the chat is saying here, because a couple things that don't agree with. I do agree with you, Prophet, that I do believe a lot of screens and stuff are going to start going to Luther Bird, and they're going to try and get the ball in his hands. True Pilgrim, I do agree. Kalif is a dangerous gadget weapon. This is where you guys might not agree. James says he sees Walker as Rome's replacement. He can do what Raymond and Burden can. But this is where I really have to pause. Oh, okay. I read that wrong.
Sean, you read it wrong. I was going to say
he's not more dynamic.
Yeah. I read that wrong at first. I was going to say I got to disagree with this. I'm with you, Prophet, 100%. I'm sorry.
I think this is a big proof year for Rome Odunze, guys. I really do. I don't want to beat this wide receiver conversation to death, but I think the Bears coaches, the new coaching staff, Ben Johnson, the guy who wasn't here when Rome was drafted, I think he expects a lot more out of Rome Odunze. And listen, I know that he was dealing with that injury last year, but let's face it, guys. It's not fair to critique a guy solely based off of where he was drafted, but for the number 9 pick in the draft, Rome hasn't done anything to me that looks like special. He's not comparable to the guy, like your number 9 pick in the draft. You're expecting what? Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, Malik Neighbors. That's kind of, he was drafted before some of those guys. I haven't seen that yet. And I think that's what the coaches are expecting. And if he doesn't, they could have a huge impact on this team this year, and he's got to stay healthy to do it. I think there's a damn good chance that a guy like Walker can take his job.
I do think Rome and Caleb, though, are kind of developing that relationship. You see when the two players are drafted in the same season, quarterback, receiver drafted in the same year. I see that relationship. I see the development between Rome Odunze and Caleb Williams, and obviously the injury put a damper on that. But I still think Caleb is going to be a big advocate for Rome Odunze, guys. If the Bears consider moving on from Rome Odunze, Caleb's going to have a voice in that room. I promise you that.
I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I think Rome Odunze is the Chicago Bears' Michael Pittman, and your playmakers are going to be obviously DeAndre Swift, Luther Burden, Colston Loveland. And you're going to need a catch, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7. He'll find the soft spot, turn around, make that. I just don't see him as a very explosive receiver. I know he had a couple big touchdowns. If you go back to the touchdown, I believe he had against Dallas, that was more of a blown coverage than him using elite, elusive, shifty moves. It was the guy wasn't there. He hit him and he walked into the end zone. That's just the way I see it. And there is a usefulness to guys like Michael Pittman. I'm a huge fan of Michael Pittman, a guy who catches 100 balls and is always your quarterback's best friend. But when we're talking about dynamic playmakers, guys who are going to make the defense really think, that's going to be Loveland, that's going to be Burden, and it possibly could be Jahdae, AllDae, Walker. We'll find out as he continues to grow in the Bears offense.
By the way, Colston Loveland and Luther Burden were spotted in the United Center at that Michigan game.
Yeah, I saw that.
You guys, real quick,
Nice.
fifth of says we need a true deep burner wide receiver. Burner, he agrees with you. He says, do we have one? Is Raymond that guy? Is Luther that guy? I
think they draft.
I think they're both capable of doing that, but I don't think that would necessarily be their specialty. I think Burden's talking about a guy more like Rashid Shaheed, or who's the guy in the Raiders, or Henry Ruggs went to jail. One of those guys who, or Alec Pierce, one of those guys who does most of the work 40, 50, 60 yards downfield.
I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised at all if they had a guy like that.
I'll say this, man.
Just to don't have a Devin Hester, but on the wide receiver room, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Don't sell Burden's speed short, man. He's a 4 guy.
I'm not. And I said, I just see it. Listen, Luther Burden can catch over the shoulder passes. We saw it last year on that flea flicker. I'm sure he's going to continue to do that in his career, but I wouldn't necessarily consider. I would like to get Luther Burden the ball more at the line of scrimmage. Now, obviously, if he's open downfield, I'm all for it, but I think Luther Burden can create a touchdown out of a 6-yard pass. So just get the ball in his hands as much as you can. If you had a guy,
I believe that's Luther Burden.
If you had a guy like Rashid Shaheed, would you be upset about that? A guy who takes the top off the defense and burns their entire secondary and nobody can keep up with them? I would.
Yeah, I'll say this, and we'll continue to watch this. But if he didn't last year, he was really close. There was a home run for the Cubbies by Ian Happ. Cubs up 4-zip.
Hey,
I'll say this. I believe he has, if not the quickest first step, he's in the top 3 with the quickest first step. He's going to burn people off the line. He's going to get open, and he's going to, like Kyle just said, because of that first step, you're going to be able to hit him on those quick hitches, those quick outs where he just curls back in. And if they're not there to catch him, that dude's going to be gone. You're not going to catch him. 4.4 speed is pretty goddamn fast, guys. He almost was a 4.39. Yeah, I mean,
Sean, I'm not. I understand the speed of Luther Burden. I'm not disagreeing with you.
The thing with Burden.
No, I know you're not.
It's not beating people over the top that really excites me about what Burden might be in the NFL. It's what he does when he's got the ball in his hands. And like you said, Sean, getting the ball in Luther's hands on a short passing route and watching that guy take a 4 or 5 yard pass 35 yards. Like he did against that Packers, guys. Every yard was a yard earned. It was something that he did. I mean, he broke ankles like he was an NBA player, like a point guard. Yeah. And that's what excites me about Luther Burden is what this guy's able to do. I thought it was even better in DJ Moore once he had the ball in his hands. And DJ Moore's a yak guy.
Crooked, who do you see as the Bears wide receiver when it come the end of the season, 2026? Do you think if Luther's going to finish with better numbers, Rome Odunze, or do you think it's pretty much going to be a toss-up?
I think, well, if we're sticking just with the wide receiver room and not expanding to maybe tight ends, because I think we all say Loveland is I felt towards the end of the season, as much as he loves Rome, I felt like the connection between him and Loveland, especially after that Cincinnati game, really just like took off. And it seemed like, especially towards the end of that game, he was looking for Loveland more often than not, and whatnot. So I would have to say Burden as well. What concerns me about Rome is not being able to hold on to the ball when he's in traffic and whatnot, when he's getting hit. There's too many times where he's getting hit from behind when he has both hands on the damn ball, and it just gets knocked out. And if you're supposed to be that number one guy, that guy, you need to come down with those catches more often than not. Every once in a while, it ggets knocked out of your hands, hey, it's okay because those other guys are getting paid too. But if you're supposed to be, like I said, the clear number one, the no doubter number one, you need to not catch the ball with your arms like you tried to do, in that playoff game. And when you do get your hands on it, like really bring it down. So, hey, that's Foulmouth C. Foulmouth C. Thanks for hopping on and saying what's up. That's my thoughts on the wide receivers.
Crooked, I couldn't have said it better myself, man. If you want to be number one, you got to make difficult catches. And what's really disappointing about those drop passes you're talking about, Commish, is the fact that Caleb Williams made some miraculous play in the pocket to get that ball downfield, and Rome spoiled it by dropping the ball. That sucks, man. When you're talking about a young quarterback in his second year with a brand new head coach trying to develop and learn a new scheme and a new offense, you need to help him out as much as you possibly can. The Bears need to limit these drops, and that's not just for Rome Odunze. That's for the entire team. There needs to be a lot less drop passes for the Chicago Bears next season. Huge problem for them last year.
I do anticipate the Bears are going to draft a receiver. It's probably in a late round, but I think they're going to add somebody.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I'm thinking either if they want speed, I wouldn't be surprised if they go after someone like Ted Hurst.
I love Ted Hurst.
But if they want somebody with more size in the later rounds, someone like Mekhi Fields from Notre Dame, I wouldn't be surprised they go with 6'4" frame there. So
the one mock draft him.
Who?
Okay, see
Fields. Yeah, Malachi Fields. Yeah,
the one that's the hidden gem in there that's just falling because of his injuries, but like, if you could have him get healthy for your kind of like a red shirt year, is that Chris Bell guy from Louisville.
Love Chris Bell too. I love that. I love this guy.
Yeah, Crooked Commission knows his shit. Fuck yeah, man. Sean, speaking of drafting a receiver, I believe that somebody had a mock draft for this.
Yeah, we did. But really quick, I just wanted to get back to James's quote about we don't know about the durability of Luther Burden. Luther Burden in his college career only missed one half. He was hit very hard. They thought it was a long-term shoulder injury. He returned the next week. He missed 0 college games that are on record. He was 38.
And his injury in the pros was a concussion, I think, which is not a.
Well, his injury in training camp was a hamstring. Now listen, but that hammies are pretty common, guys.
Hammies are, especially earlier in the year.
Yeah, it's a soft tissue injury. I think everybody in the NFL is susceptible to hamstring injuries or calves or like that. I certainly wouldn't be like, oh man, this guy's injury prone because he missed training camp. I think they were also being. I bet you if it was the regular season, Luther Burden plays through that shit. But they're like, hey, it's training camp. And I understand rookies can't miss training.
You seen Jabari Davis in the chat?
Yeah.
Nice.
Is this a person we've seen before?
Well, we gave him a shout out earlier.
We talked about him earlier, man.
Hit that like and
we can give another one.
Jabari.
2, Jabari. Nobody gets 2.
Vernon, he agrees with you.
That's worth the subscribe.
Vernon, he agrees with you. He says we need another vertical route.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think they're going to draft. I think if they draft a receiver, which I do believe they're going to do, I think it's going to be late round, but it is going to be somebody who just burns. It's going to be a 4.
Phil says I pull my hamstring getting out of bed. Yeah, me too, Phil.
Here, and I'll be honest, all I can do is go off of what he did in college. He was 38 for 38. He did have that soft tissue injury at the beginning of the year. It got him behind. If that soft tissue injury happens in training camp this year, he's not going to be behind. He'll slot right back into his position, and he'll take off, in my opinion only. But
Luther Burden is a full-time starter on this football team, and the world is about to know his name.
Nico Horner just doubled down the line. Carson Kelly, line draw. Oh, man, he crushed that ball. Oh, right at somebody. Gosh, darn it.
Did you see the other day, just Cubs related, sorry, going to go off track. Ian Happ smashed one of the balls yesterday, but the wind blew it in. It's like they showed the trajectory. It would have gone out of the ballpark if it was like no wind.
They said if there was absolutely no wind at all, not even wind blowing out, if there was no wind at all at Wrigley that day, they would have been 114 feet further than the ball travel.
Which is crazy.
Yeah,
that's
so wild. I know.
Yeah, it goes from an out of the parker to a fly ball. That's insane. That's Wrigley Field, man. That's Wrigley Field.
Welcome to Wrigley.
No doubter to a fucking routine can of corn fly ball.
Yeah.
It's the curse and the blessing of playing there at Wrigley of the days when it's blowing out, you're loving it, and the days when it's blowing in.
Yeah, people were like, Jason Hayward had 27 bombs in Atlanta. He's going to be amazing in Chicago. I'm like, Chicago and Atlanta. Chicago and Atlanta.
And to answer your question, Kyle, if I can get it out correctly, that would be even better. There was a draft by ESPN just the other day. I believe it was yesterday. And these were the draft picks that they took. And Skylar Bell was on the list. Another receiver who I like going to the Bears late there. It looks like they did not move anything around. They did not take a center. I will tell you two things that I like about this draft. Well, you guys know how I feel about Peter Woods. I love AJ Housley. I don't know much about Malik Muhammad. I had to look him up a little bit. I like
Texas had a damn good defense.
I like the Jack Kelly pick when you sent it, Sean.
I was just gonna get there. Mason Rieger went to my high school. Love that kid out of Wisconsin, and I love the fire in his belly.
He just went to the Sean's high school 60 years after Sean went.
Hey, I'm not that old. Jesus. And then obviously that last pick, Jack Kelly, I think would be an absolute steal. I actually, for the draft, the NFL draft scout, I absolutely 100% would be all in on this draft for the Chicago Bears. Where are you guys with it?
Crooked, what do you think, man?
Well, I really wasn't a fan of the defensive tackle. That was one of the things where I wasn't thinking that they would get. I mean, Peter Woods is a beast of a player, though. So I mean, that would be interesting. And he's one of those older guys that you could plug and play. That's what we're talking about. He's not a young cat that needs his body to be kind of develop into the NFL. He's kind of ready to go. But the safety, I don't mind that. Overall, it's not too bad. Like I said, I just wouldn't be taking the DT there, but I don't mind the player. It's not because I don't like Peter Woods. I think he's someone that you'll be able to start immediately.
Yeah. What you got, Rando or Kyle? Who wants to go next?
I like the draft. I actually like taking an offensive player, wide receiver there with your top 4 picks there. And I don't know much about David Gusta, but taking 2 defensive tackles implies to me that they're probably taking a 1 tech and a 3 tech. I don't hate that either. And Sean, Jack Kelly, I mean, if you get Kelly in the 7th round, I think you got another Kyle Monunga in your hands, an impact player and as a rookie.
I'm going to be honest. Not only did it go to my high school, but Mason Rieger is another one of those guys who worked his fucking tail off to get to be drafted. I mean, coming into the pre-draft, this guy was a 7th round undrafted free agent. He's put in the work in the Senior Bowl, in his pro days to get up into the 4th round. That is a guy that I would take on my football team because he puts in the work to get there, and he's showing it to you out on the field. Jack Kelly being in the 7th round is absolutely absurd to me. It is so absurd.
Real quickly, guys,
he was maybe BYU's 2nd best defender.
It is absolutely absurd. If you walk away with Jack Kelly in the 7th round, I promise everybody, dude, that is going to be a starter for Chicago.
Well, let's talk about let's see what the chat thinks of this mock draft, guys. J2K says Mason Rieger is a great pick at defensive end. He's played 4, 5, 6, and wide 9. He's more than an outside linebacker. Can play with his hand in the dirt. True Pilgrim says I would replace the Rieger pick with Slaughter, the center he's obviously talking about. J2K says I don't understand double dipping a defensive tackle. I think Vernon just said he thinks maybe that one of them would be a 1 tech and one of them would be a 3 tech. J2K also says Jack Kelly is getting drafted far, far, far higher than the 7th round. That's goofy as fuck.
I agree with you 100%, J2K. When I saw that, I was like, 7th round value on Kelly, dude?
Like I said, he's probably the 2nd best player on BYU who actually had a pretty solid defense this last season. So I don't know that he's going to fall that far.
Suggett says Kelly is solid. Everybody likes Kelly, man. AC Adams says Skylar Bell is sick. So that would
Skylar Bell will be amazing.
Jack Kelly kind of reminds me of Campbell, the kid Detroit drafted a year
There's
ago.
the receiver we've been talking about, right? Flex Dig says this draft is a W in my book. Hope they do this well. I hope they do that well as well. Suggett says, Vernon, you're right. That would be another 7th round steal and Jack Kelly there. And Prophet says
he plays like Campbell in Detroit.
Do you guys know this name? Do you know this name? Crooked Commish? Creighton Wilfong?
No, that does not sound too familiar, but welcome to the show, Creighton.
What's up, Creighton? How you doing, man? you haven't already, anybody in the chat, please hit that like and subscribe button. That does absolute wonders for us. We appreciate all you guys being here. Please continue to contribute to the helps the show go. Prophet says I would replace Gusto with a center. Prophet says that center would be Crute. Everybody
I don't know much about Gusto.
Everybody loves Crute. Kamish, I asked these guys on Wednesday. I'll ask you, man. How much do you think Crutes would have to pay Jack Sanborn to get the number 57, man? 10,000?
Is Cruz actually? Somebody said Cruz is 5'5" in the chat. Is he actually that short?
I hope not. That would remind me of the other center that we drafted from Oregon a few years back. That was like that short and just like in the early rounds and didn't pan out to do anything. But with the Cruz situation,
I can't imagine a college team starting a 5'5" center.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
That's pretty short.
There's one chat that I'd like to talk about because this is the only problem I have with this mock draft. And Sean, I like that draft a lot. If that's the exact draft the Bears have, the Bears have become a much better team, 100%, and they filled more than a couple holes. But there's one thing that is missing out of that mock draft that I would break my heart. Now, after watching the tape and studying and looking at the draft profile and listening to what everybody has to say about him, I want Rodriguez more than anybody in this draft.
I agree.
I love that guy, dude. I absolutely love that guy. I think he's going to be an absolute badass in the NFL for a very long time. I know people are like, "Oh, he's undersized, short arms."
Showing you some
I don't think that matters as much at linebacker, the short arms. I really don't. I think that Rodriguez is a baller. I think he is. And look at those awards, man. Buckus winner, Lombardi winner, Nagurski winner, Bednarik winner. Yeah. He was in the running for a Heisman Trophy winner and like halfway through the season last. That's unheard of for defensive, especially for a linebacker. This guy had 317 tackles, 25.5 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, 13 forced fumbles, 6 interceptions. You guys, he had 7 forced fumbles last year. I think that was more than 32 colleges in the country.
He had more touchdowns than half the offensive players in college football. Jesus Christ!
He's just a badass.
Al had a question in there saying, "Yeah, there you go." I was wondering, just going to ask that. Do any of the guys in that mock draft there? Do they seem like they fit? Dennis
Kid that went to Sean's high school.
Yeah.
What do you think, Kamish? Do you think any of those guys fit his scheme?
Well, like I said, the defensive tackle part there with Peter Woods, I'm not too sure about. But Mason Rager, for sure, like I said, I think he would fit in pretty good. And then I'm not too familiar with Muhammad at cornerback. I just wouldn't. That would be a little surprising if they do cornerback, that means they traded Tyreek, I think, if they use the 60th pick on a corner and whatnot.
Yeah. Probably, yeah. I mean, now you're talking about you got Charles Smith, you got Zay Frazier, you got Tyreek Stevenson, you got Kyler Gordon, you got Jalen Jones, you got Jalen Johnson. The corner room is getting a little crowded, man. If they take a corner in this draft, I'm assuming somebody's going to be caught.
My only riff with this would be instead of taking that defensive tackle with your second to last pick, I might go left tackle on a guy that you may think might have some promise. I don't know. The left tackle thing to me, I get the hype. I get the Braxton Jones thing. He's coming in, he's bigger. They signed Wills, but a left tackle is still a problem to me, guys.
J2K says, is anybody surprised by how early they drafted a cornerback? Yeah, I think Crooked Commish just kind of answered that question. Like, if you're drafting a corner that early, I'm guessing here, because if you're talking about Josh Blackwell, Jalen Jones, Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon, Tyreek Stevenson, Zay Frazier, Terrell Smith, and then the corner that they're going to draft,
is that
a lot of corners.
Is that a fucking Ewok?
No.
Dog, bro.
This is my pet Ewok. Yes.
I love it, man. I love it.
Ewok pet.
I love it, Antonio.
This is my.
Is it she?
She's chocolate. Yeah. She used to be much darker. She's white chocolate now. Before she used to have a much darker coat. That's what gave her the name. But now
I don't see color, Crooked.
Oh, okay. What do you do at stoplights?
You guys, True Pilgrim says
I drive fast and take chances.
Phil says Rodriguez is freaking fast, quick to the ball. Yeah, he's a playmaker, man, and he has a ball magnet.
You know what I think the problem is, Kyle, with that draft? I think the draft scout was smart enough to realize that
he's going in the first round.
Yeah, he ain't gonna be there at 57 for the Bears.
I think that Vincent Anthony wasn't on that mock draft is a problem, but I'll let that. That's my own
Yeah, listen, guys, I'm not saying that the Bears are going to draft Jacob Rodriguez, or if they drafted a defensive tackle or safety at 25, or even if he was still there at 57 and they didn't take him, that it would be the worst thing in the world. I've personally fallen in love with the guy. I think he's absolutely amazing. I think he's an old school football player. He's that guy who just loves playing football. He'll punch you in the mouth. He's a tone setter. He gets to the ball. He takes the ball away. He kind of reminds me of a very, very undersized, small linebacker. The Bears have been missing that true badass linebacker. I understand he's not middle, but they've been missing that linebacker for a long time now. So I'd love to add that attitude to the locker room. A guy like
Jack Kelly in the
I'm not going to be surprised if they don't draft him. Now that they've signed 2 linebackers in free agency, probably not at the very high on their priority list, but I think that's a guy that contributes to your team for a very long time. I think Rodriguez is going to have a long career in the NFL, and he's an absolute badass. That's just me.
Guys, we got over 40 in the chat. I do want to say, please, guys, for everybody's watching, please hit that like, hit that subscribe, share with a friend, let everybody know. Crooked Commish, you brought a couple of people in here tonight. We appreciate you for that. For those who have joined to see Crooked on this show, guys, if you could hit that subscribe, check us out again. We appreciate you.
He says stormtroopers attack.
I want to.
Gotta stop picking on his dog, man.
I want to throw this out to
Picking
Jamar.
on. I wish I had a dog.
I'm a big Caden Curry guy myself. I've talked about him on numerous shows. I love that kid out of Ohio State, and I think, I mean, if he was there in place of Mason Rieger, I think he would be winning with that too, because he's going a little bit later in these drafts as well. So I'm a big Caden Curry guy, though. Love that kid.
If they draft Rodriguez, TJ Edwards.
Nice swag. Nice.
Sean said that numerous times, Crooked Commish, on this podcast. I think the writing's on the wall. You draft Rodriguez, I think you got to find a way to get out of that TJ Edwards contract. There's just no point to have so many linebackers on this team. I'm not saying I would be, if I drafted Jacob Rodriguez, I'm like, well, next year I'm not worried about middle linebacker anymore. I would still go after try to find that middle linebacker. But I think Jacob Rodriguez just reminds me, he's got the Chicago Bears mentality, man. For years, all we had to watch was the middle linebacker or the linebacking core and the running backs. For years, that's all Bears fans had to watch. Now I feel like that's two of the Bears' weakest positions. No disrespect to DeAndre Swift.
Oh, there you go, Sean.
Not special.
There you go. Look at the chat, Sean.
Oh, my boy. I love Landon Robinson.
God, you guys.
Someone else earlier mentioned non-day.
When are you going to start? Let's hear from the chat. We want Sean to do mock drafts. Sean, do a fucking mock draft.
I already have it fired up. I just have to share it to the screen.
No, I don't know. I mean, I want to see you do the 32 first, the all teams in the NFL. I want to see you do you do so much work on this stuff.
God.
Yeah, let's Sean.
For every team.
Field Yates, Mel Kiper, Sean Lugo. Let's see.
There you go. Let's see it, Sean. I think you'd be better than those.
A kicker.
I think you'd be better than those fucking meteorologists.
Yeah, the Packers.
They don't have any first round picks.
The second round.
They need a kicker. I mean, they're not bringing back McManus. So, I mean, second round kicker.
Well, the Packers are in a predicament, guys. The Packers are in a predicament. Nobody is talking about it.
But they have like 47 picks, even though they don't have a first.
I don't want to shift the conversation, man, but to change from a 4-3 to a 3-4 or vice versa is very, very tough. And there's a long transition period. I'm curious as to how that works out for the Green Bay Packers, man. Losing a defensive coordinator is a big deal.
They have like 11 picks in this draft.
All right, Brent, stop rubbing it in.
Yeah. Well, they don't have a first.
Fuck them all up.
They don't have a first rounder.
Sean,
well, they did it. Yeah, but they only have those picks because they pretty much, I mean, was it just me, guys? Or it felt like they were cleaning house.
Thank you.
They traded everybody.
They had much more departures than they did additions, so they have a lot of work to do. Sean, Dante says, we mock it tonight. Prophet says, Sean, do your first full 2 rounds on 4starchicagosports.com. He didn't say that. I'm just throwing that in there. Swaggy says people transition faster these days.
Sean,
we don't want to get into politics.
From hearing that.
We're going to do one.
Christopher says, do you guys see the Bears trading out of the first round? Chris, this is something that Phil has talked about numerous times in the chat here. He believes that at some point Ryan Poles is going to trade back in this draft. It wouldn't surprise me at all because as long as Ryan Poles has been here, he's always been looking to add more draft capital. I just don't know if it's going to be the 25. I think the only thing that hurts you trading out of 25 guys is remember all first round picks get a 5th-year option. Anybody after the first round does not. So I don't know.
I'll be honest. I would not be upset if they did trade back and wound up with a couple extra picks.
If you were to do that, if you were to do that, I would want to, obviously a future first round pick in next year's draft. If I'm trading back from 25.
Sean,
Yeah,
the chat is really pushing this.
Or
I
2
think
seconds,
yeah.
two really good players to make up for the loss, that 5th-year option on somebody. Yeah, 100%, man. If
Yes.
you're any pick in the first round is incredibly valuable, more valuable than most free agents. If you're going to trade a first-round pick, you better be a big reward. And Ryan Poles trading back in the first round usually has been compensated pretty fairly, especially when you talk about that Panthers trade, which some people consider to be the best trade in the history of all of football. All right, guys, we're gonna get some of these mock drafts here, Sean. Let's do this shit. They're itching.
Sean, the chat is really.
mock.
Sean, the
They're
chat is
throwing
dying for you
stones at us.
to do a mock draft.
Prophet says we
Sorry, I put that on you.
Prophet says we demand a mock. Wow.
So
Prophet
do you
ain't
guys
fucking around.
think it's more likely that the Bears stick at 25, or do you think it's like
I
between the
do.
two, stick at 25 or trade back?
If a
I
safety's
think-
there, yeah.
No, I just think there's too much talent at 25 to trade back. Like, take the best available player, take a guy who adds to this team, makes this team better, a guy who you think could be a perennial Pro Bowl. First round picks usually should be, unless you're just not very good at drafting. But yeah, like Phil said in the chat here, man, that second, like that pick 60, the second round pick, trading that back for 2 third-round picks, would that surprise me? Not at all. Not in any way.
And I think they want to be in the 5th round, the 4th.
I do too.
Poles values those mid-round picks, and he doesn't have many of them. And I think that the 4th round, the 5th round, Poles wants to be there. So it wouldn't surprise me if he trades out to get a couple more mid-round picks.
You guys, I'm sorry to cut you off, Brian, but I mean, look at the mock.
You guys want to go all the way to the 7th, or do you want to stop at the 4th?
No,
let's go to 7th.
You got that awkward period for the Bears where they're just don't draft for 100 picks, so we need those 2 7th rounders, man.
Here we go.
After this,
That's my point, Kyle. Poles ain't cool with that.
Yeah, we got to see if we can do better than ESPN, guys. Let's get an A.
After this mock, I do have to bounce out, guys. I just wanted to let you.
Oh, for sure. I think we'll be right behind you. This has been a long show.
right
Look, we're happy to have you, man. Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah,
It's been
absolutely,
awesome, man.
No,
Thanks for hanging out with us.
please. Absolutely no. I mean, it's a long time coming. I know I've been talking about it for a while, so I'm finally happy that I was able to kind of work out, and I can't wait to have you guys in the clubhouse and stuff. So
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
either one of you, whenever there's a free time, please let me know. I know it's a little bit tricky because life's busy. So, but let me know.
We'll say this, guys. The Chicago Clubhouse Podcast. Give them a follow. Go check them out. When are you guys on? What days you pod, Crooked?
So our main show where we talk Bears is Tuesday nights, 8 Central.
Perfect.
So every Tuesday night.
You could rotate between the 2 podcasts. Look at that. We don't have a podcast Tuesday.
See?
Go watch this shit.
Boom. There you go. And then, like I said, I'm not pulling you guys. If you guys want to make an appearance on our show, I'm not pulling you from your show. So, but the main show, like I said, is on Tuesday where we talk Bears. We only go for about 2 hours, maybe a little bit longer if the topics are really hitting and the chat's popping off like it's going off tonight. Wednesday night, I do a fantasy football show. So if anybody's into fantasy football and plays fantasy football,
Hell yeah.
me and my co-host, the Mouse from the Bay, we like to talk sports and whatnot and just roundabout and answer questions, give opinions. So, and then on Thursday nights is we have a women's show. I believe it's Women's Cut, and then also a basketball/baseball show for the Bulls and the Cubs and the White Sox.
Awesome, man. Go check this guy out, man. And real quick, before we move on, thanks for being a loyal listener before anything, man. We really appreciate that shit, dude. Everybody in the chat here, man, the same. We appreciate you guys being here. I absolutely love shooting the shit with people about football. Sean, Byrne, and I have talked to each other enough. I think we're getting kind of sick of each other's opinions. So it's good to have some outside perspectives in here, man. I really appreciate you. And guys, Curtis Heisler, he says, I like 25 and 57 for 33 and 44. Definitely like trading back. Curtis, thanks for being here, man. We appreciate it. Anybody in the chat, if you haven't already, anybody watching on Twitter, please go over to our YouTube page, hit that like and subscribe button. We love you. We appreciate you. Sean, let's get into some mock drafts.
Let me pitch a plug real quick. Kamish, you gave me some inspiration. We talked about it a little bit earlier, guys. If you get yourself a 4-star Chicago sports membership, we're going to be looking into doing a random draw to see if you're interested, especially more importantly than anything, random draw of the people who have the memberships, guys, to see if you want to come do maybe a half-an-hour segment on our show. For those guys who are in the chat that maybe want to meet us at a little more personal level, put your face out here, guys. So look forward to that. We will be doing that in the near future. Crooked Commission.
Yeah, we're
inspired that.
also going to be raffle. We're also going to be handing out some prizes here as well. Some signed Bears memorabilia. Sean Antmas says, "Bonus Sean mock for listing while working is awesome." All right, let's get this mock draft going so that Crooked can get out of here.
I've always talked about doing a game, watching the game live together, whether it be baseball or whatnot. So yeah, we can definitely.
Yeah, hell yeah, a live watch show, man. Fuck
watch
man,
party. Watch.
Yeah,
party.
you just fly out. We'll fly out to Arizona if you have us.
All right, guys. What do we got left at 25 here?
And Emmanuel McNeil Warren went 22 to the Chargers.
Falk
Went
21.
21st.
Let's restart. No, I'm just kidding.
Where are we at here, boys? This changes a lot of things, man. Peter Woods? Is it Peter Woods? What do you guys feel?
Shall I go to safety? I'm assuming Thieneman got picked already. It's probably a guarantee.
AJ Housley. Yeah, the safeties are gone, man.
Man, this is going to be the toughest 25th pick we've ever had here.
Yeah, this is wow.
Thanks, Crooked.
Prophet says this would be the perfect. Prophet says this is the perfect
I did my part.
scenario. This is the perfect
what?
trade back scenario. He says this is the perfect trade back scenario since all the names we love are gone. Prophet says Woods would be a reach even right here. J2K says he wants TJ Parker. Crooked Commish, what do you think? What's the best name on that list, man? When you look at the players available, Sean, can you bring that back?
TJ's sticking out to me as well. Go back to the edges as well, real quick.
I love Cassius Howell, but I don't think he fits the Bears scheme necessarily.
Is Derek Moore already drafted?
No, he's probably down a little bit. He's right there. 65.
Man, and then there's no safeties either, really. Oh man,
this one's tough.
Yeah, what are the linebackers looking like, real quick? Just out of curiosity.
Well, look who's number one ranked linebacker.
Let's go get you preached for this guy. It's a half an hour segment. Let's just draft a fucking guy.
Yeah, but you draft this ain't getting a lay if you draft 45 or 25.
Yeah, you're gonna get F for that pick. Right there.
Yeah.
This is the here, and you know what? We talked about this on the show, guys. If Warren was gone, Falk was gone, Messador, all the guys that they've been talking about that they want. This whoever said it in the chat, I can't see the chat because I'm on this screen. This is the perfect trade back scenario for the Bears, where you can add a Jacob Rodriguez.
Yes, Prophet. Yes. Omar Cooper. Let's fucking go.
Yeah,
that would be so out of left field.
Prophet
for
says
Ben Johnson.
Ben would draft Cooper.
What's that?
Prophet says Ben would take Omar Cooper. Right
he would.
You want to draft him?
I mean, he technically, by their standards, he is the best available player.
I don't
know if the Bears draft. I don't know if their board looks the same, but right now he is technically the best available player. I've never seen you guys.
Omar Cooper.
You guys, we've never done this. We've never done this where the top 23 ranked players are actually drafted in the top 23 picks. We've never seen that. Usually, there's a guy available who we're like, well, that guy, that's not realistic. McNeil, Warren. We did one where Thieneman was still available right here, but those guys are all gone.
I'll be honest. I would be okay with TJ Parker. I mean, I would.
I'd be okay with TJ Parker too, and that's not a super high reach, man. He's ranked 29. His ADP is 29.8. You're 25 here.
Yeah, 6'4", 36. Yeah, I think that's the best one. If you're not going to trade back,
I would definitely be down for
drafting the profile too.
I'd be down for drafting TJ Parker if his name was Omar Cooper. What?
Sean, Romy says draft Proctor.
Want to draft Proctor?
Or Curtis says trade back.
I mean, I'm not a fan of Proctor that much, but I'll draft him for shits and giggles. I don't care.
To see where does this road take us?
We're going to be 7 hours on the first pick.
Are we saying best player available?
I'm taking. I don't know, man. It's tough.
Taking Omar Cooper, best player available, or trade back.
We'll draft Cooper. We'll draft. Who's the chat want? Who's the chat want? I can't see it.
It's between Parker and
trade
Cooper.
Back.
Parker and Cooper. He says J2K says who fits and is a need. TJ Parker.
TJ Parker. All right, we'll go Parker.
You guys, I think we took trades out, so I don't think we can trade back, guys.
All right.
But yeah, I think that there's not. I think there's a chance. Suck it.
I know where Homeboy's going here. See, this will be ideal for me at 57. If they were to go safety and Malachi Lawrence was still there at 57, to me, it's a no-brainer. Or Yakis.
High motor edge.
Who do you like, Kabish? Who do you like, man?
Let's look in here. The linebacker Golden. Ramsey. I like that safety from.
We might be able to get him, and sorry, I didn't mean to click out of safeties. We might be able to get him at 82 in the next couple of picks.
Okay.
Sean,
What
just
we
real
going
quick, is Lance still on the board, wide receiver?
62.
Okay, so you could wait.
There's Skylar Bell too.
There's Skylar Bell. I'm going to tell everyone, and I said this before on one of the shows, I don't know how Antonio Williams is getting slept on, dude. He might wind up being one of the top 3 wide receivers in this entire
Guys,
class.
did we take Cooper?
No, we took Parker.
No, we took Parker.
Bryce
All right,
Lance would be a fucking
Sean Romy says,
snag of a
can you
pick.
show us the defensive tackles?
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely not.
Prophet says Lawrence is my favorite. Howie says Malachi. Prophet says I like Malachi.
Oh, there's my guy. Oh, God, I would die for Grayson Holton.
We don't want to see Sean die, so we're not taking Grayson Holt.
6'2", 292. He's a little bit bigger on here than his profile reads.
This is just a mock drill, so we might be okay.
So who we got?
Romy says Halton! Exclamation.
I mean, I'm down with Grayson Holton, dude. I love Grayson Holton.
I'm probably going Yakas.
Stuckett says Halton is the move, so you got 2 Haltons. J2K says I don't. J2K says he doesn't think Halton fits the scheme.
Are you insane? He's a versatile, quick. I think he fits the scheme perfect. We can agree to disagree on that one. I just did a whole piece on him, dude. He fits Dennis Allen's system to a T.
Prophet, EMW was gone, bro. He wasn't available to us, man.
I think he knows that. I think he's chatting with J2K. You guys go wherever you want here, because
J2K says
the next pick I'm going to be very vocal.
J2K says Halton would have the shortest arms defensive, or Dennis Allen has ever drafted.
Crooked, what do you
Hey,
think?
let me ask you this: do you guys like Kobe Turner?
He didn't say scheme. He's just talking about the player, the profile.
Do you guys like Kobe Turner? By any chance?
Yeah.
Los Angeles Ram. Yeah,
I know he is. Yeah,
that's exactly the profile to a T. Size, athletic build that Grayson Holton fits. He's been compared stylistically to Ed Oliver, Grady Jarrett. Grady Jarrett. That's all I'm saying. Dennis Allen historically runs a simple 4-3, 4-2-5 front that's built on interior disruption. The key traits penetrating 3-tech. That's exactly what he is, man. Examples of which he's had in the past, Sheldon Rankins and David Anamata, are also profiles that Grayson Holton profiles up against. I don't know.
We got to pick.
I'll agree.
I'm with Phil. I'm with Philip. Is Price on the board?
Price?
Running back.
Oh.
That's the
Price is gone.
Yeah, Price is gone. I'm not taking a second. I'm not using.
Price went 53 to the Steelers.
Oh, Crooked, you're the guest, man. You make the decision.
Yeah, you make the call.
Who we taking at 57?
Yeah,
bro?
no pressure, man.
I think you talked me into Holton.
All right, he wants Holton.
Kind of pulled up his profile.
A little bit higher than his ADP, but we're not going to get an A for this one, but that's okay. Brandon, who you got? Brandon's picked.
No, on the next one?
Yeah, we're at the next one.
Yeah, we're at the next one, bro.
I like Lance, man.
I know that's why I already put up wide receivers. I know exactly where he was going.
I like Derek. I like Derek Moore if he's still there too, but I like Lance. I mean, the kid's big. He runs an outrageous 40 time.
Derek Moore is there, but didn't we take an edge with the first pick?
Yeah.
Let's go Lance.
Yeah.
Let's get a 4-3. This is basically Christian Watson with health.
You guys, we're gonna need a safety at some point, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say what safeties are available now.
I think Bud Clark will still be there with your next pick.
Sam Hecht, top player on the board at 89, ADP of 83, 84. We're at pick 89. We'll look at who was the other guy you just said?
Safety. We're just talking about
safety position.
Need a safety badly.
Safety. Still got Genesis. I love Ty Wheatley, man.
Fuck Genesis.
Michael Taft is there.
I like Bud Clark as well. I like his speed that he has.
Prophet says heck. Hold it.
But
That's either
Romy
I'm with
to me it's either Hecht or Lance. Who,
Stuggett says heck. Romy
Yeah.
says heck. Everybody's saying heck, guys.
Hecht is done.
Prophet says heck.
129.
Heck,
no,
heck.
Lawrence is not.
Heck it.
Bears have the future.
heck it, we'll do it live.
All right, let's see safety. We got to take it safety at some point. Dude.
We put it off long enough, guys.
Oh, they're all gone. Wow.
I'm going to be playing
They
safety
are.
for the Bears next year, guys.
Jesus.
I do like I
Yeah.
like Cole Wisniewski, man.
I like Michael Taft, but that's a
I know
reach.
you like Michael Taft. I'm fine
But
with
that's a
either.
reach. Michael Taft's
But it-
170, bro.
Well, this is
At
where
this
you
point,
have to
we not be able to afford to ignore the position anymore, considering, like we talked about earlier, we have no starting.
Can we look at wide
Okay.
receivers still? I think the Bears will prioritize this position.
Then
Well,
we
we're
are
not taking
took Bryce
two.
Lance.
Yeah, we took Bryce Lance, bro.
Oh, I thought you took Hecht instead.
No, Heck
we
was
took
the pick
Heck
after
after.
Bryce Lance.
Oh, dude, we're
We
killing
have
this guy.
Parker,
What are you talking about? This
Holton,
is an A.
Lance, and Hecht.
Yeah, this is Hecht. He's not going to be there. That's crazy.
He has a third round ADP, man. He might very well be there.
Prophet says this mock draft is a perfect example of why you have to draft safety in the first round.
I'm with you. I'm
Yeah,
with
but
you.
the three weren't there, man.
The three were not there, and that was the difference. That was the difference. I like
Prophet,
Cole
Prophet,
Wisniewski.
I mean,
in real
Plus,
life.
Kyle and Sean got some names in a rabbit hat they
Prophet,
can pull up.
if the
late
Bears,
round.
Prophet, the Bears don't have a chance at one of those 3 at 25. You can't. You got to do something, right? You got to pick somebody.
Well, like Romy's saying, we're not taking a wide receiver over safety in the.
Yeah, I
but
don't think that would
J2K
happen.
says that too, but the mock draft ESPN just released took a wide receiver with the third pick. It's clearly
I
something
agree.
they think Ben Johnson's going to be looking at.
Well, they have visited with some wide receivers, so it's,
Gage Casey's still there if you want to rebuild that board, but I think he's more of the right side than the left side. Oh no, left tackle. 934, 938, 798.
you don't have to convince me to take a lot. You know, I'm all about left tackle, man. The Bears have been looking for a left tackle for a long time. I'm all about filling that position, but I don't know. I don't know much about Gage Casey. Dude.
I don't know much about him either. His
I don't
numbers
like. I don't like seeing Boise State because the Bears have drafted guys from Boise State in the past.
I don't know that the Bears are going to
Shane
take 3
McClellan.
offensive players in this draft.
Yeah, Shane McClellan sucked.
I don't think the Bears. I don't think the Bears take 3 offensive players.
Yeah, J2K, I agree. We have no idea what these guys are going to do. It's going to be completely different than our mock drafts. I'm sure of it. But yeah, guys, what do you think? You think
Carson Kelly, anybody?
reach on a safety or
Carson Beck?
reach on a safety because you need one, or are you taking a tackle here?
Carson Beck.
You got to take a safety just because you need it. There's no safety in our team.
I
We can't play both spots.
I love Michael Taft coverage. I think he's one of the best coverage safeties in the draft, man. That's just me personally.
I'm a fan of Taft too.
Look at those PFF by game. Look at those grades by game, man. Outside of Georgia.
Yeah, outside of Georgia. Everyone
Which is
has a bad week. Everyone has a bad
NFL
week.
players, NFL players outside of.
I love Michael Taft, man. Look at his coverage grades by draft buzz: 100, man zone 100, overall coverage grade 100. This guy is going, and this is a guy who has a great story. He had a what do you call it, to Rice, and he decided to pass on it, and he went to it was a walk on at Texas and became an All-American, first team All-American, one of the best safeties in the country. He's by far, he's certainly in the top 3 in terms of coverage for sure.
So should
All
we
right,
go safety?
let's go Taft. Kyle sold me.
J2K
All right,
says
we're
he
into
does
the
not like Taft. But yeah, listen, J2K is not my first pick, but we're talking about we're at pick 130 here.
Getting towards the bottom of the barrel here.
That's going to be interesting to see what's left in the 7th round, man. I'm interested to see what running backs are left.
I know the Packers brought in Michael Taft for a top 30s.
Our grade might be a question mark. Like, what were you guys?
Well,
doing?
you know, we picked, that's what I was saying. Like,
yeah.
after we make that pick, the Bears don't pick for 110 picks. So now you're just kind of
Which Ryan Poles is
there.
going.
Right,
Ryan
right,
Poles
Sean.
is going to address that.
All right, Sean, let's see those linebackers.
Oh, God.
Oh, Sean, go to the position. Vincent Anthony for me.
Edge?
Yeah, he's a position that was a joke.
Top
look
edge
at that.
left.
There he
Look
is.
at that. He's the fucking best
Damn.
player.
No, I wouldn't say
Gee.
best player, but what was the other one you said? Linebacker?
Well, you guys were gushing
Yeah.
about that guy that the Bears took in the mock draft, the 7th round.
Jack
I mean,
Kelly,
dude, Lander,
he's
Lander
gone.
Barton is there, guys.
Yeah, Lander Barton's a stud too. Jack Kelly's gone.
And Eric Gentry is there.
I like
didn't
Barton
think-
more
I
than
don't-
Gentry.
Where
But
did
I-
Jack Kelly go, man?
He's gone.
Crooked Commish, this is your first time on the podcast. You're going to be leaving here after this.
Jack Kelly went
mock.
218.
Who you taking, bro? Who you taking, man?
What position you want to take?
Who's
What position do you want to look at, man?
yeah?
Kicker.
Let me.
I don't even
Nah.
think they give us an
Nah.
option for that, do they? They don't even give us all special teams. Never mind.
Who's bet? Let me
They
look at the best
shouldn't,
available. Real
Sean,
quick.
they should.
Hold on, Brennan. Hold on. What'd you say, Crooked?
Let me look at the best available real quick.
Best available.
Roman Hembry, Noah Thomas,
Okay.
Mac
Vincent
Brenton.
Anthony. Vincent
Running back,
Anthony.
running receiver. And are drafted already. Let me just look at that real quick. Who we already picked.
So you got Parker, Holton,
So,
Lance, Hecht,
so
and
two
Tapp.
ends, receiver, center, safety. Go to wide receivers. Oh, we did a receiver, didn't
Yeah,
we?
we
Or-
took a
yeah,
stud.
we did on
We
Lance.
took a
Yeah.
stud.
Okay, no, never mind. Don't do that. Cornerbacks.
I like it. I like it. Devontae Smith's a good player.
Yeah, he's pretty good on the Eagles, isn't he?
Sean.
They're actually both Devonta.
Devonta, yeah, as I say, this is might be slightly different. His cousin here.
Oh, Jesus.
Smith, Wright from Nebraska as well. I would go with Smith there.
Smith, done.
There
A
you go.
Golden Domer joins the Bears.
All right, Sean, you make the last. Or Brennan, do you want Vincent Anthony? Why not?
We're
Shit's
drafting him.
Eagles.
We're
He's no
drafting him
idea.
for Brandon.
He's going to be
All
a B
right.
plus. He's going to be a B plus. Watch. Guaranteed. Watch.
Vincent Anthony, F. TJ Parker, A minus.
What's Vincent Anthony?
Yeah, we got a
B.
solid B.
Overall B.
Not bad. The Bears are
They didn't
better
like
after that
Tappan. They
draft.
didn't like
So-
Holt.
so-
we drafted Holt
so
30
that's-
spots ahead of him.
Hold on, guys. We got an update on women's college basketball. Not.
Oh, okay. Our lowest grade was the safety position there, that pick with the
Yeah,
D
Michael
plus.
Taff. Yeah, I mean, that was a reach.
It was a reach. 50
Yeah.
picks ahead of his-
Hecht got an A.
Dude, that's a
Yeah.
quality pick at 89. I'll personally, if the Bears are there at 89 and he's there, I think that'll be the Chicago Bears day 3 pick.
And
Without
Lance got a B minus, which is stupid because like if you're going to take a receiver and he's there in that spot, you take.
remember
him.
that grade-
If you're
that grade
drafting
is-
a receiver, you take him there.
That grade is solely off of where they were projected to be drafted, or ranking, and where you drafted them. That's all.
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
not projected off the fact that he just murdered the
Not
combine.
about their skill set or their fit in this offense or defense or how this coaching staff feels about them. It's
Everyone's pissed
TJ
about
Parker
the
was
Lance
projected.
Bryce Lance pick, Brandon.
What's that?
Everyone, Lance, what the fuck? Lance is a goofy pick.
Yeah, 'cause-
It's never True Pilgrim.
just
He is
wait
a
till
stud. I
just
mean,
wait till
he-
Lance
he's a-
murders True Pilgrim right there. There it is. There it is.
All right, Sean,
Lance-
put us back on the screen here for a
Lance
second.
runs like a
Let's
4.32.
Let's let Crooked Commission.
He's like
out of here.
6'3". It's Christian Watson.
I
without-
like him. I do like Bryce Lance. I do.
Well, Crooked, we appreciate you being here, man. Antonio, thank you so much, dude. Thanks for inviting some of these chat members. We really appreciate it, dude. Thanks for always watching our show and being active in the chat. We appreciate you, man. Honestly, it's been a blast, dude. And I love the shirt too, by the way. I didn't get a chance to tell you. I didn't realize that you put your little
awesome.
thumbnail on the shirt,
you.
bro. That's badass.
Hey, and by the way, don't forget, guys, go check him out on Tuesdays, man. Go give him a shout. Go get in that chat. Give him a like. Give him a subscribe.
Yeah, Howie
Yes,
says.
more members
thanks.
in the clubhouse, the better.
And thanks to all the viewers that followed you here, man, and tuned into our show tonight. We appreciate you bringing some love with you, and
Yeah,
it's been
especially the
fun,
ones
man.
defending
Nice,
our
always
country,
nice to
man.
put a face to the name. And guys, if you want it one more time, Kirk, go ahead and plug your show.
Yeah, Chicago Clubhouse Network, guys. We're on Facebook and on YouTube. You can find us on TikTok as well. I mostly run the TikTok one, so if you go live on TikTok, I think I ran into Brandon
Yeah.
on TikTok,
Yes, sir.
chatting with some other Bears fans. So look out for us there. Like I said, 8 Central on Tuesday nights. It's strictly Bears talk for the most part. You'll see some familiar faces from some other channels. We've had guys from Just Another Year Chicago has been on there as well to kind of chat it up with us and chop it up. You guys, open door policy for you guys as well. Any one of you guys, if you happen to be free on any Tuesday evening, shoot me a text. Let me know. We'd love to return the favor. Even get some other guys from the channel, Foulmouth C, and the other guys that were in the chat, hop in here and stuff. We'd love to kind of collaborate with other.
Hey, Crooked, who are we? That live chat we were in on TikTok, Supreme. What's the guy's name? Do you know the guy's name?
His name is Guy.
But what's his tag there on TikTok? Guy Supreme.
Yes, it's Guy Supreme.
Go guys, go for all those very cool. I like what the dude's doing. Go check out Guy Supreme on TikTok as well. He showed me some love. He's brought me into his live chat a few times. Dude is definitely
his YouTube
all about the Bears.
His YouTube channel is CNG Bears or CNG Chicago. So they do have a YouTube page as well. So if you want to look that up,
show him some
and
love.
another guy. Yeah.
Hey, and Cricket, just so you know, man, I might not be able to catch you live. Tuesday nights, I'm in Dart League every Tuesday, 52 weeks a year. But I always try and catch up, like Bears Country Podcast. Thursdays, I have volleyball with my daughter. I try and, watch the shows after the fact because I can't watch them live. I'm in a loud bar. There's no way I'll be able to hear it on a Tuesday. I'm in Kyle's bar.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I work this
bar.
well, but that sounds like a perfect thing to listen to on the drive home, man. And once again, Crooked, we appreciate you being here, man. Thank you so much, dude.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. I love the background.
Anything else you want to say, Crooked, before you get out of here, man?
Just a quick shout out to I'm a Arizona guy, so I got to give a quick shout out and love to my Arizona Wildcats. They're making it to the Final Four. It was awesome to see them do that. And like I said, one last thank you to everybody in the chat that supported us and showed me some love. Really do appreciate your chat. I'll see you guys back in the chat. To all you people in the chat, you'll find me in there again. And one last thank you to you guys, 4-Star Chicago Sports. You guys are awesome. Like I said, very much appreciate being on the show, and I can't wait to be back, man. I had a blast.
Yeah, you'll be here again, man, for sure.
Much love, Turkey.
Thank you.
All right, brother.
Guys, peace.
Thanks,
take it easy, man. You guys want to get out of here? Or you guys
Look at one more. That is the Crooked Commish, guys. We appreciate him joining us, showing us a lot of love in our chat, and he runs his own podcast. Guys, go check it out. Let's do one more. Let's give these guys one more because they were pretty disappointed with my
Sean,
my Lance pick.
Sean, for Howie,
I want to leave a bad taste in it.
Landon Robinson at pick 120.
I love Landon Robinson, dude. I really do.
All right, let's do one more and let's take Landon. I'm pissed. I was promised Landon Robinson. I love it. Hell yeah. Come on, Howie. Let's go get some Landon Robinson. All right, guys. Let's try to get a safety in the first round for everybody in the chat here. Everybody in the chat wanted a safety. Let's see if one of those three guys is available.
We're off. We're off and running.
Yeah, we're off.
It won't be Emmanuel McNeil Warren.
Son of a bitch.
Jesus, dude.
See, the NFL knows too, guys. This kid's a stud. By the way, Sean, I want to know if you knew, Sean.
Honestly, that's
what was the
huge reach, guys?
Emmanuel McNeil Warren had the highest grade at something in the last 25 years at the safety position in the NCAA. Do you know what it was?
I can tell you.
I completely forgot what statistic. He was the highest graded safety at something in the last 25 years in the NCAA, and I can't remember what the hell it was.
I've actually seen McNeil Warren drafted to the Vikings more than once and more than a couple mocks. So I think they're trying to replace Harrison Smith over there. That wouldn't surprise me at all, man.
Landon Robinson at 25. Suck it.
Yeah, suck it. Says Landon Robinson at 25. Laughing emoji. I love it.
Dante says, I want a corner that can play safety. This is becoming a pretty big narrative.
Let's make this one a little bit faster. I don't want to spend 20 minutes on every pick. So obviously, safety is not an option at 25. Once again, the three big boys are gone. So we're going to have to probably go defensive tackle or defensive end. What do you guys
let's
think?
look at corner. Dante wants a corner that can play safety.
The Bears aren't. I just don't think the Bears are drafting a corner.
They're not taking a corner in the first.
I don't think the Bears are moving positions.
More than happy to look at them, man. But I don't. Romy, Sean, can we trade back? Did you get any trade offers? All right. So what do we got here?
See, I don't know where to see him. It says
You have to
trade.
no, you have to make them on PFF.
Oh, so nobody offered us anything, guys. We would have to offer.
You don't get offer trades. You have to pitch the trades
Yeah, well,
yourself.
that
on
would be
PFF.
that might take a long
All right.
time. That might take
We
a
have,
long.
we have to
31.
really be the crooked commissioner of this mock draft.
35, 25 for 31 and 63 to the Patriots. Let's see. Offer trade.
Trade
Not
not
accepted.
Sean, give them 89 too. We'll take 63 and 31. Give them 89.
Yeah, see if we can trade Kyle.
31, 63 for 25.
25 and 89. There you go. Boom. We trade it back, guys.
We traded back. So now we're at 31. I would take Peter Woods right here, man. That personally. What is the chat one? I can't see him.
Guys,
I can't see it.
I got TJ Parker again. I got Colton Hood. I got Dalen Everett. I've never even heard of Dalen Everett.
What the hell is Dalen Everett?
Romy says Woods, capital WOO.
I'm down with Woods at this spot, man.
Yeah, let's go Woods. We're going Woods. Sorry,
I'm
man.
definitely down with Woods
Safety
here.
wasn't there. Just remember 129 or 129. We got to take Landon Robinson.
57. Best available. Stowers.
Let's go
Price.
safety. Look
Let's
at
go
safety.
Price.
God damn it, Price is there. Mother bitch.
Yeah,
Look
but
at
Bryce
safety.
might be there at 60. Remember, we got 57, 60, and 63 now. God damn, dude. These man, this is brutal.
Well, you don't take a safety now because you can use 63 if you really want him that badly.
Yeah, Bud Clark.
You can
63.
use 129 at this point.
I say Price.
This Genesis kid sucks.
I say Price, man. You're talking about a
Price?
complete difference maker on your team. A guy who changes the Bears offense
in.
completely. Price.
60. What's the chat want here? You guys want a quarter? Stucks is there. If anyone likes Stucks.
Yeah, maybe take
Stokes.
Stucks so they can change him to your safety.
I think
if they
it's
feel like
it's Stooks.
Whatever.
Whatever, man. Fuck you guys. No, just kidding. Derek Moore is still there, but that's a bit of a reach at
You
this
might be able to get him. Oh no, 65. You can grab him at 63 and get two edges and really have some power coming off the edge. Are we gonna do Stooks? Trey Dan?
This is the kid that this is the problem with Stooks. This is the kid that everybody thinks is going to be.
J2K says,
Move to safety.
I can't help. Yeah, let's take Stooks because I think he's going to end up being a safety. So that's your best bet. The rest of the safeties guys would be a massive reach considering we don't have a 5th or 6th round pick. Now we don't have a 4th round pick either. We got
Sean, can we look at defensive tackle real quick? We're not taking Lance, guys. Relax.
Grayson Holden, Orange, Jackson.
Uh-oh. We got Sean on Grayson Holden.
No, we don't have to take Grayson Holden. We took him last time. I mean, none of these guys really fit the profile, and they'll probably all be gone by the time we get to 129. So if you want a D tackle, we're going to have to jump the gun here. I'm a fan of Dominic Orange, to be honest. But
well, let's look at the defensive ends. Maybe if we 2 stud defensive ends makes this defense.
I like Moore, man.
better.
I really think Moore is going to be a pro football player. I truthfully believe that. I think that kid exploded in Michigan his last year. I think he's a bull rusher. He's a fucking powerful dude. I sincerely.
I just go off of football really quick. Edward Cabrera looks amazing tonight.
Dante says the prettiest ones don't
He is
often
a
mock
beast.
well. I don't know who he's talking about. I'm assuming Brandon.
Hold on, what did he say?
Says the prettiest ones don't often mock well. I'm assuming he's talking about Brandon because I
Oh, thanks,
certainly
man.
not pretty by any means necessary.
You ain't talking about me. I got a face built for radio, so
He's talking
He says-
about you guys.
He says we took Woods at Romy says we took Woods at 25. Now we need a defensive end, and Romy has become officially all caps. That's his new nickname.
a
all
defensive end. Oh, that's right. We did take
We
him.
took a
Yeah, we did
DT.
take-
Yeah,
You guys
we took a
wanna take
DT.
more?
I was
Yeah,
gonna
let's
say,
take
man. You
Derek
said
Moore.
you said should we take 2 defensive or edge rushers? I was like, didn't we take a fucking tackle?
I'm sorry. I'm blanking.
Well, J2K, remember, none of these guys are safe. Some people get signed and don't make it through training camp. We've seen
We
it
already
before,
got
right?
Price, so
A
we
la
don't have to
PJ
worry.
Walker.
J2K should be in the war room for the Bears. I mean that sincerely.
I mean, he
J2K.
knows this. J2K knows his shit, bro.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said it.
Sean, now Romy says center.
Oh, that's a good one.
Romy knows his
Thanks,
shit.
Dante. I appreciate you. I bet you're pretty too.
Man, Jaeger Barton is the best one that's there. Hold on a second. Let me get rid of this. And let me get rid of this.
What position is this?
Center.
We should look at a linebacker too.
Jaeger Barton is the best center on the board. Pat Cogan drops you a little bit.
Jaeger
Ooh,
is
that Kobe
disgusting.
that Kobe Baines looks like he could be a good pick.
You guys, we got to take Robinson. That was a promise.
I think he's
Is Howie,
gone.
is Howie even in here?
Oh no, defense. Sorry.
Landon Robinson. We promised.
Oh God.
He's gone, man.
Oh God.
I think Landon Robinson's getting more
Howie,
love than
Howie
people
just
think.
unsubscribed.
He went to 122 to the Falcons.
Oh, so
Howie,
he wouldn't
listen.
even have been there at 129 or whatever pick he wanted, 125.
And there's Takario Davis at 127 to the Niners, and Mason Rieger goes to the Detroit Football Lions.
Who's available at linebacker?
Homie says, "Let me see the receivers, please."
All right, I'm feeling that. Who said that? Romy?
Yeah.
I did.
Ugh.
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 Huh.
Although
Gross.
there's my boy Jeff Caldwell, man.
Is it
I don't
on
know
me?
if I trust another Cincinnati receiver, but
Sean, look at the linebackers.
Yeah, let's just bring Tyler Scott back, Sean. Jesus. Is that guy white? I don't want him.
no, he's not. Caldwell, no, he's not.
Let's get him.
I like York. Be a little bit of a jump here, but I like Aiden Fisher too at 176. But
That's a huge reach.
I
Well,
know.
Sean,
Did we
click
take
on,
a safety? Are we
Sean,
doing this again?
click on the top one. Yeah, we took a safe. We took the guy who was listed as corner, but we're transitioning. To
Oh,
safety.
yeah, Stooks.
Ugh. Ugh.
Sean, you okay?
Now did we draft this bum?
I mean, his PFF grade in 2024 was phenomenal.
Yeah, unfortunately, he dipped. Looks like
Hey, when he dips, you dip. we
James
dip.
Christos says Kevin Coleman, or J2K says Kevin Coleman's a good fit wide receiver, and James Christos says Coleman is a great returner as well. Sounds like they want Coleman, man.
okay.
Ooh.
I mean,
Kevin
that's
Coleman.
a big reach.
Yeah, but when's the next
Oh
time
God,
we pick?
another Missouri product.
When's
Let
the
me
next time
throw
we
up.
pick? Well, yeah, but then at least he can hang out with Luther Burden, right?
Yeah, great.
Yeah, they can hang out. Look, quick as. Let me see him. There's a lot of yellow in there, guys.
Sean's mad because his best grade was against KU.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. This guy's good. He looks like he tailed off. That's a good drop rate, though, 2.9%. That's good.
The lack of touchdowns scares me a little bit.
Well, the contested catch rate is really good, too, at 81.8%.
Owen Casey must have slowed down. The White Sox beat him.
Oh, J2K says Burden and Coleman never played together.
What is
Yeah,
this
the more
kid,
Missouri
freshman?
you get, the more
Sexton?
Missouri players you get, the further you get from success.
Was Coleman a transfer or a freshman?
I don't know, but I will tell you, if these guys grew up in that area, they know each other. If they both grew up in the same area, they know each other. I can tell you
Oh,
that.
God. Reggie Virgil's terrible, too. My God. Ugh. Look at
All
that
right, well,
drop
Sean,
rate.
just pick somebody.
Let's just draft Carson.
I got
back.
to do.
Yeah, I got to.
You take a linebacker already?
No.
No, we looked at him though, and you weren't impressed.
Yeah, I think you went. Ugh.
I mean, I don't know much.
York. York's pretty solid. He got better every year. I mean, 90.8 coverage grade. That's exactly what the Bears need, dude.
All right,
Coverage
take York.
linebacker.
Take York. You need a linebacker, right? There's probably going to
Bomb.
take one.
Done.
Sean's not fucking around.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
Howie,
Let's go, Jack Kelly.
Holly Landon wasn't there, bro.
Landon wasn't there. We tried. Oh, that's a
He wasn't
really
there,
good
bro.
quarterback at 240, man. We might want to just draft him and have him stashed on the bench.
Dude, the more KU guys you draft, the worse your team gets. Man. We're about
Who's
to.
that? Who's
Sean,
that from Duke? I can't read it.
We're about to. How many running backs who played for KU have the Bears cut? Or
Well,
are
Khalil
going-
Herbert for
are going-
sure, and what's his nuts?
Roshan?
No,
Roshan
Roshan was from Texas.
Wasn't he transfer at KU? Didn't he play at KU?
Who?
Roshan? Wasn't he at KU at one point?
No, he was Texas.
His whole career?
Yeah.
I can't read that. Who's that player from Duke?
Who's the other KU guy that the Bears drafted? Oh, no, never mind.
I don't think Gale Sears.
No, it was Austin Booker, bro.
Oh well, Austin Booker. You said running back, bro.
I know. I just said never mind.
You
Dude,
just
I'm
said-
tired.
Oh.
We don't usually do 2.5 hour podcasts. You guys are killing me.
Kyle's falling asleep.
I'm old,
All right, who
man.
do we take here? We have an edge. How about we double dip at edge and make Brandon happy? What's the chat saying? Anything?
It's a B plus. It's a B plus. It's a B plus.
Boom, we did it. Last pick. Last
Yeah,
pick.
let's get out of here. Why not? Why not double dip it edge? The Bears need pass rush, right? That's what everybody complains about all the time.
I would say Cole Payton here, but that's
Look
just
at
me.
look at your wide receivers, Sean. You like some guys that were pretty deep, didn't you? Wait, was Jack Kelly available when we took Vincent Anthony?
No, Jack Kelly is gone.
I don't think
We can get a Vincent Anthony and a Vinny Anthony.
Yeah, no, I know. Me and Dustin made that connection on our last mock draft.
All right, just take somebody. Let's get out of here.
Squirrel White? That sounds amazing. You know what? In honor of ILL, we'll go with Hank Beatty. Fuck it. It's the last pick in the draft.
I actually like Hank Beatty, but I don't know if he's an NFL
Oh,
product.
that's fucking Ian Cunningham.
They said we should have went with Cassius Howell. Gotta be the same.
Another B.
Oh, look at Vincent Anthony.
B plus.
It's
Tanner
this
York was kind of shitty.
Jadarian Price got a C. Get the
Yeah, that's
fuck
kind of
out
crazy
here.
to me, man.
Get the fuck out
He
here.
was 62 ADP. It's not like we jumped the gun too much.
Oh, and he's ranked number 56. We took him at 57.
Yeah, like,
Suggett says Squirrel's a badass.
is he? Dude, I've never seen the name, but now I have to look him up.
Who?
Squirrel, I can't remember his last name. He's the only squirrel in football.
All right, guys.
Some-
We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much to everybody today for being in the chat, man. We love you guys. They real good support for Crook Commish. I'm glad he came on today, man. It was a good show. I enjoyed talking to him, man. I would go over all the names, but you guys are so loyal. There's so many of you. We absolutely love it. We appreciate it. Brandon, Sean, anything you guys want to say before we move on?
Thanks, guys. Much love. Appreciate you, Kurt Commish. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for everybody who followed Kurt Commish into our chat, guys. Please hit that like and subscribe. J2K, I know you don't like our draft, and I know Dante doesn't like our draft, and I know nobody likes.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter because
We're
none
not
of
the
our drafts
Bears.
are going to be anywhere
That's
close.
not
to
what's
what the
gonna
Bears
be.
are.
True.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you to Commish and thank you to everyone in the chat. Per usual, bear down. Love y'all. On the way out, we're going to give you guys. Yeah, fuck those guys.
I almost
And
took my
so-
shirt off just now.
Until Wednesday, peace and love, everybody. We'll see you then. To talk
Love you guys, man. Take care of yourselves,
football.
guys. Everybody take
Much
care of
love, bear
yourselves.
down.
Go Cubs.
Go, Cubs.